kasadya ning takna. Nakadung na gyud ang kantaha. Bay. Ha?
Nakadungong na jud ko
Kanang
ana.
kung na yung mga manaygon sa inyong balay, daghan jud kayong mukanta aning kanta nga particular song kanang kasadya ning takna, di ba? Of course, ang in English ng kasadya ning takna, if you translate it in English, correct me if I'm mistranslating this, guys, and also you, Ralph. Kasadya ning takna is how like these are happy times, right? These are joyous times. These are merry times, right? Sakto ba ko? Is that the correct translation?
I think so.
Okay.
Di ko sure actually unsay
Okay.
translation sa.
Kasadya is these are fun times. These are great times, right? Of course we want to translate it because that's what's so interesting about our listeners and our viewers, right? Not just here on YouTube, on Facebook, on TikTok, on our website, Tops Media Center, but also here live in Tops mismo at the Sky 360, right? Most of our friends who are here visiting us are actually not necessarily from Cebu, right? We have a lot of friends who are from out of town, right? Usually, mga kaning Tops, this is the place that we first bring our balikbayan friends, right? Or mga tong mga amigo, mga bisita gikan lang sa nasod, gikan sa ubang lugar sa nasod ba. Lalo na to sa Cebu, sa Tops. The first thing that we do is really bring them to Tops. This is like the first place good because makapakahambog mata sa tong skyline good. Di ba?
Lagi.
And it's really the best and the quickest way to be able to see Cebu, right? In one location because this is the highest elevation in Cebu city limits. Kaning ato ang location karon, we're 2,000 feet closer to heaven, right? So ang kaning elevation ng 2,000 feet, it is easily legally the highest elevation within the Cebu city limits. So that's why you have a beautiful and breathtaking view of Cebu. In fact, it's even more breathtaking if you're a balikbayan who hasn't been here in Cebu for a long time. Maybe if you haven't been here in like 10 years or 20 years, you'll be blown away by how beautiful the skyline is.
It's just a kanang breathtaking jud nga view.
Ikaw Ralph, dugay naman gyud ka sa Cebu, di ba? You're not originally from here. You mentioned that you're originally from, where's that again? Bukidnon?
Butuan. No. I'm originally from Cebu. Born and raised ko diri sa Cebu.
Okay.
Pero nitiwas ko sa akong secondary education dito sa Butuan.
Okay. Nibalik na buka diri. So, do you remember the first time that you ever saw the skyline of Cebu from this vantage point from Tops? Do you remember that day?
Actually, I did not visit Tops in the past. So the first time I visited Tops was when you invited me to the station.
Oh, really now?
Yeah.
So you never had an inkling of what it feels like and what it looks like to look at Cebu from Tops, right?
Nope.
So tell me about how you felt. Explain to our listeners who've never been to Tops, right? Or who has been here, but it happened like a long time ago. Like what was the feeling?
Well, katong day it was like in the morning, so maybe that's also why I'm more biased to the view in the morning here. But in the morning, just like the vantage point from here, especially here sa Sky 360, the fourth floor here at Tops, it's just like the city looks. It just looks so small from up here, and like compared to like when you're out there in the city on a day-to-day basis, the city feels so big and it's so hard to get around. But then when you get up here, everything looks so small, and at the same time you're it feels like my problems felt so far away at the same time. Kay maybe it's because katong first time ni Saka ko diri, I was a student in college, and na stressed sa ACADS, and and all that. So
Tesa unsa man ang ACADS ba? Pasabta ko
kanang academics ba, like kanang mga
Ah,
assignments.
academics, my
Yeah,
goodness.
ACADS. Stress sa ACADS sa mga assignments, mga projects and all that, mga deadlines. And then like coming up here in the morning, early morning, and then seeing the view from up here, it felt like my problems were so far away. And I was like, it almost felt like I was in a different world, so to speak. Did you get that experience the first time you saw Cebu from cutting a vantage point? Is that just me?
So what did you feel like? You felt like what?
It felt like I was kind of like in a different, almost in a different city, or almost like in a different world. It felt like I wasn't even looking at Cebu.
Well, like I've been here multiple times, obviously, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
there
yeah.
are other spots in the Busai area that is also high, but not as high as Tops. But we had a place called Bukid, which was a few kilometers down, and it also had like a kind of panoramic view of Cebu City. So when it comes to feeling differently, the most, I should say, stark difference or feeling that I got when I went to Tops the first time was really the cold weather. Like mo gina siya, di ba? Mo man ay mo ginang description and mo ginang murag pinaka exciting butang sa usa ka lugar, di ba, kanang magtugnaw kaayo, kanang mag-snow, di ba? Those are one of the many things that people who go abroad want to experience, because we've never experienced snow here, or at least cold weather as cold as this, like, when they talk about Baguio Pananglitan, di ba?
Oh, lagi.
And when they talk about the states, di ba? So mo ginang I guess that's the closest to feeling like you're not in Cebu feeling. It feels so cold, and it's you're just here in Cebu City, right?
Lagi.
So that's really the feeling when it comes to going to Tops for the first time. But ang view niya, you can only appreciate the difference if you've seen Tops from, let's just say, 20 years ago, and from where where it is now, right? And the difference is really stark. It's really dramatic. If you think about it, the skyline of Cebu wasn't this beautiful, wasn't this high, wasn't this well lit 20 years ago. But karon grabe na kayo kanindot yung tanaw ng atong skyline here in Cebu. So much has changed. So it actually, the feeling that it gets from me, that it elicits from me, is really pride. Like, I live there. I live there.
Yeah.
This is my home. This is Cebu. So that's what I get. That's how I feel like.
Lagi. It's like
In case you're wondering what you're listening to, guys, you're listening to Tops Media Center, 105.1 TMC. I'm your host. My name is Jiggyjuice, the radio personality formerly known as Jiggy Jr. I grew up and dropped the Junior and replaced it with Juice, thanks to the prodding of Kuyamagik.
Yeah.
So I am now Jiggyjuice, and right beside me is Ralph Chavez. Tell me about the story of your name, Ralph Chavez.
Well, it's
very simple or
very,
complicated?
It's a very simple story.
Did you have a choice
on
the matter?
I started with a rather cutesy kind of name, but I was informed that being cute is not. Dili ko angayan magpa-cute-cute. Okay, dili man jud ko cute. So that's why I was told, you know what? Let's just keep it simple.
Okay.
And take your name and shorten it a bit.
Okay.
So that's the story behind my name.
Ralph Chavez.
Yes.
So today our topic, our show is called the UGG Show, the Ulipon sa Gugmang Giatay Show. And the premise of the show is really everything revolves around love. And that's what everybody wants to talk about, especially romantic love. What is that? What did he say about me?
No, I think the Magic was the one who took your white wine.
Anyway, that doesn't really matter. So why are we talking about that? Do your magic. Anyway, so everything revolves around love. I propose.
Yeah.
That is my belief, Ralph. Seriously, I'm being serious right now. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
normally
yeah.
don't get. Everything revolves around love. Whatever it is that you do, whatever it is that you say, you are walking and a talking love machine. A
Mm.
love machine. You know.
That sounds kind of funny to say.
I know, right?
A
I,
love machine.
you know, like I'm not even just talking about our romantic
Mm-mm.
relationships, right? I'm sure
Yeah.
that will be the most popular form of conversation that we will be
Of
having
love.
about
Yeah,
romantic
yeah.
love
Mm.
because that's very intriguing. That's very interesting. Dagan po kita mga marites, di ba? Dagan kita mga chismosog, mga
Yeah,
chismosa,
lagi.
di ba?
Lagi,
Anya,
lagi.
ganahan po sila kay makarelate man po sila because
Mm-hmm.
everybody has been in love one time or another, right?
That's true. That's
Right?
true.
But the biggest question that I have tonight actually is, ikaw, Ralph ba?
Mm.
Na-in love na ba ka, Ralph? Na-in love na ba ka? Ako, I've been in love so many times I can't even count anymore. But you personally, have you ever been in love, Ralph?
Oh yeah.
Ralph Chavez.
Yeah.
And explain to us the feeling. Go ahead.
Well, yes, I can definitely say I have been in love.
Okay.
And to describe the feeling, oh, where do I begin? Where do I begin? I
Begin from the very beginning.
think yeah, obviously. Gusto good man dito sa sinugdanan. But like when I guess it starts when you realize nga I think I might be in love, diba? I think that's where it starts, Jude, for everybody. The
So-
realization.
So how did you how did you get to that point, nga, realizing that you're actually in love? What does it mean to be in love? Because there are many phases, right? Na may
Yeah,
gitawag
yeah.
crush lang.
Yeah, lagi.
Na ay kaning friends lang yun.
Mhm.
Na ay kaning infatuate.
Infatuations.
Diba, diba?
Yeah.
So unsa magid nganong nakaingon man ka nga you're in love? Because for our culture,
Yeah, yeah.
that is a big declaration nga na
yeah.
in love, especially for your personal life, right? That's
Yeah.
a huge declaration that you're in love with another
Yeah,
person.
It is.
So
it is.
at what point did you say that?
Well, Konde, may gabi ida sa itong mga viewers dira sa Sky 360. And, well, what did it, what was the question again? Nakalimot inon ko. What did it
in love
take?
day ka ba? Na in love ka
What
ba?
did it take for me to realize that I was in love, right? Mo ba to?
No, yeah. At what point
At what point did I realize?
did you declare that you're in love? Did you declare it to yourself, or did you declare it in front of a crowd?
Well, I think declaring you're in love is kind of different from realizing that you're in love, diba?
Yeah.
Pero I think because we're gonna start from the beginning, Jude. Let's talk about the realization. I think for me, yeah, you're right. There are different stages to this, like kanang crush lang, and maybe you realize later on, okay, maybe this is a bit more than just a crush, and all that, and that I think the realization starts that with the longing, like you want to see the person more, you want to be around them more, and all that, and I think that's when I started to realize, okay, this is more than just a crush kind of thing, because when I'm not around them, I feel like my day isn't complete or something like that. If I don't see them that day, it feels like there's a hole that needs to be filled, kind of thing. And it's happened a few times already, so I'm trying to think of like which moments or which of the times I fell in love I'm trying to talk about here. Pero I guess the
was there like a clear indication you were already in love? Like one just give us
just
one.
one indication.
Like the biggest indicator. You were able to declare to yourself and to the world that I am in love. It's not just a crush. It's not just a friend thing. It's really in love. Dili lang infatuation, in love.
Well, it was
Ay nagkauwaw good. Ay nagkauwaw dia. Wa bitin naminaw nato ang atong mga listeners dili mo guna taga Cebu, di ba? Taga Cebu ka? Are you, by the way, if you want to listen to us, you guys, you can listen to us on our website topsmediacenter.com. You can go to Facebook Tops Media Center, on YouTube Tops Media Center, and also on TikTok Tops Media Center. Daghang salamat sa inyong pagpaminaw ug pagtan-aw namo diri sa atong programa nga madungga na sa Sky 360. Thank you so much, you guys. Can you wave, please? Can you give us a little wave? Thank you. There they are. Okay, thank you so much. We're talking about love here today. If you want to join us, if you have a question, if you have a shout out, maybe you can message us on our social media platforms, or you can come inside and talk to our technicians here and give us a piece of paper. Maybe you can write it down and whatnot. So unsa man imuhang murag telltale sign nga nakaingon ka nga in love ka. Ako ba tabangan ka nako ha? One of the telltale signs for me is dili na ko makatug. Magunahon na sa katao.
Yeah.
In love na siguro ko di na ko makatug. Ikaw unsa man imo? That's akin to that or like that.
Yeah, I think it's similar gyapon sa katong gingon ako na like when I realized na konjud na this is love. It's the longing.
The longing.
The longing to see them, the longing to be with them and all that.
Okay.
Be beside them. Even just being beside them is enough to brighten your day.
Did you do something about it? Did you be with them? Did you call them? Did you sit beside them? Did you look at them? What did you do? Did you act on your being in love or wala lang mo lang gipasagdan?
Okay. Unfortunately, the latter.
Ako lang ngano imong gipasagdan? Because you know why you don't pasagdan it? You know why you don't ignore it? Because being in love is such a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Being in love, actually, now that I have come to I've lived long enough, is actually becoming a rare thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Feeling in love is actually difficult now, especially in the age of social media, in the age of the internet. Now, it's so easy now. You know, with Tinder and all of these dating apps. It's so easy to find a frigging partner, right?
Yeah, it's so easy to like meet people randomly.
And you can replace your partner just like that if you wanted to. If you wanted to with somebody online, right? Nganong imo mangipasagdan imuhang feeling sa gugmang, nganong imo mangipasagdan? Kinsa maning bayana ba?
Well, the thing is like at the time I was sad to say I was a bit of a coward and
okay.
I didn't know.
Torpe di ka ba? Torpe. Sa mga atong mga kaigsunan wala nakasabot ng torpe. Kanang torpe kana ng mga lalaki or even mga babae nga dili mo act sa ilahang feelings, di ba? Nga pasagdan lang nila masing na in love na sila, dili gid sila mo act sa ilang feelings kay torpe lagi. Right? Yeah, especially kung ang babae ganahan sad nimo, mas 100% more torpe pa juga than the others.
Yeah, that's probably the worst part about it. I learned later on the feeling was mutual.
Sa muka gini mo Raf, oy. So the feeling was actually mutual.
Yeah,
so,
it was.
So pinakatorpe gyud na bay. Grabe gyud na katorpe. Nga kibaw ka nga in love sa day nimo usa ka tawo after the fact na.
Yeah.
So did you eventually ask her to be your girlfriend?
No. We learned about the fact nga it was a mutual feeling years later na.
Uy, sus my goodness. So unsa man naminyo na siya unsa man nana siya lang uyab unsa man.
Di ko sure if naminyo na siya pero we more or less settled on just being friends.
Sa muka. So did you do you regret having letting go and ignoring that feeling of being in love at that moment when you were still you were classmates, schoolmates,
classmates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you do you regret?
Do I regret not doing anything about it? Yeah, most definitely I do. I kind of do. Yeah. It feels like if I did something, then maybe we could have had something special.
Yeah.
That kind of feeling like yeah. So it's just especially because I see it now nga my inaction sa katong time, it really was because I was a bit of a coward.
Torpe.
Torpe, jud, torpe.
Ay na lang ko na English sagot, torpe.
Well, karon pa jud ko nakadungog ana nga term nga torpe actually.
Oh, really?
Like,
Really?
yeah, maybe it's not as not as common sa akong generation lang siguro.
Yeah, anyway, so mo to initabo. So
Yeah.
so are you longing for that feeling again? Do you want to feel in love again?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a very it's a beautiful thing, really. Like, trying to not trying, but like being so drawn to a person. It feels like your day can't be complete without them, and it has its ups and downs. Nga koan lagi, like, because of that feeling pod, you might end up a bit depressed. You didn't see them that day or something like that. But at the same time, it's such an intense form of longing. Gani, I can't help but find it to be a nice feeling.
Nice feeling. I definitely won't cut it. Right? It's
Yeah.
more than it's more than
It's
nice.
more
right?
it's more than nice. It's more than nice. Yeah.
Yeah, but but there's a distinction between being in love
mm,
and knowing that it's actually love, right?
mm,
Like, this is love, man. Right? Like, so how do you know? You know when it is that you're in love. You already described the feeling, right? And the moment. But how do you know when it's really love and meant to be?
meant to be.
Meant to be, right?
Mm.
Meant to be, diba?
Lagi.
How do you know? How do you know that? How do you know that the love that you have is actually meant to be or not?
Okay, that's a really good question, and I don't know if I have an answer to that yet.
Yeah, you know that's why we love watching. You know, the Philippines loves the Filipinos love watching romantic movies, right?
Romance.
Oh, pag human, we're usually a love song listening country, di ba? Daghan kayo
Yeah,
ganang
yeah.
mamina og mga love songs, mga maoy kayo tanan, mga popular nga radio stations diri sa Pilipinas are those love radio stations with DJs that talk like this.
Lagi.
Modulated kay tingog mga
Mm.
rough. So, mo nang ilang ganahan because they want to recapture that feeling of being in love. Kanang, that's why we love watching romantic movies because we so want that feeling back.
Yeah.
you know? And we can relate to the girl, we can relate to the boy, and so on and so forth, right? So that's what we want to do. We want to recapture the feeling of being in love. But Ralph, I'm kind of worried now in this age of the internet because remember we talked to JM,
Yeah.
si JM Peñalosa, Mark Peñalosa.
Mark, yeah.
Nagisgot siya nga he's done with love.
Ah.
I mean, he wants
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
he wants to he's done with romantic love. What he wants to work on now is his self-love, right?
Yeah,
Self-love, kuno. So I'm concerned about that because this is not the first time that I've heard this. And a lot of people, young people, are saying the same. They want to work on themselves. They want to work on self-love, right? This actually worries me because there's a huge study now that shows that less and less people are getting married. Less and less people are want romantic relationships, and they just want to work on themselves. How do you feel about that? Unsa man gyud ang kanang self love as you understand it, Ralph?
Well,
Isn't it an assumption already, and it's already a given that you
should
love
love
yourself?
yourself.
Right?
Ah.
Right? Like, isn't that a given already? Nga you love yourself. Di ba? Kay manghilamos man ka, manutbras man ka, magpachuy-chuy man ka, mupalit man ka bagong sapatos,
Lagi.
kung nakay kwarta, di ba? Mapalit ka kalsones, di ba? Kaning mukaon ka. Di ba? Isn't that a show of
self-love.
self-love? Kay kung di ko, if I don't love myself, bahala na mag-brief ako maglakaw-lakaw sa kulon, di ba? Bahala na, di ba? Di lang ko maligo. Di ba? Nganong, I don't love myself, right? So, isn't that a given? Ngano man, why do you have to declare self-love? What does that mean when all you do is love yourself all the time?
Well, I think when especially when our generation ang kaning Gen Z and maybe the millennial part of the millennial generation as well. When we talk about kaning gitawag na to nga self-love, what we're talking about is uh trying to seek trying to seek more validation from within than externally, because one of the things nga we've gotten used to is seeking validation outside, from external forces, from people on social media and all that, sa kaning what do you call this, from the likes and from the comments that we get on social media and all that. That's where a lot of people in my generation and part of the millennial generation as well, that's where a lot of us have been getting validation, when maybe a lot of the people from the older generation, from imong generation na siguro ni Jiggy, nga a lot of you were more used to kanang getting validation from within, and maybe that's like ang main focus jud sa kanang self-love. It's that it's especially kan man jud important na before you try to bring somebody else into your life, and you try to shower them with your affection, with your love, you need to learn what it means to love. And I think it starts with learning to love yourself. So mo siguro nang pasabot ni JM when he says,
in what way?
in what way?
In what way? Because I already, my thesis is, we already, loving ourselves every day. That's why we decide to get up, because we love ourselves, right? That's why we take a bath, because we love ourselves. That's why we brush our teeth, because we love ourselves. That's why we go to school, because we want to, have wisdom and perhaps go to get some work, a decent job, and that's isn't that an assumption already? What else do you do to love yourself more? Isn't that you love yourself more than anything and anybody else? Isn't that a given?
I maybe not so much
Okay.
with the younger generation.
Maybe what do you mean? It's a generational thing. I just explained to everything that you do, right?
Yeah.
You take a bath, you brush your teeth, you clean yourself. You have you get clothes and stuff, right? You make sure that your clothes are laundered, right? Magpatupik ka, magpa-perfume ka, whatnot, right? And so isn't that loving yourself?
I definitely think caring for yourself is part of loving yourself.
Isn't that huge?
It's a big part of it.
Yeah.
But maybe ang focus ani is it's more on the mental aspects compared to the physical, like taking care of your body, like giving yourself proper nutrition, cleaning yourself regularly. That's hygiene, and
that's
physical. That's physical.
Yeah.
And what I think what the focus here is mentally. Kay, there's
so kind of self-love is more of a mental thing.
Yeah,
so
it's more of a
when
mental thing.
when you say mental, how do you not love yourself mentally?
Oh well, maybe it's because there's a lot of,
like, for example, ako, I'm not a big fan of me, right? I actually I'm beginning to love myself. I don't. This is not the Narcissus the Narcissus complex story. But what I'm saying is, the older I got, the more I think I'm beginning to accept myself. You know what I mean? It's not even close to the romantic love that I knew that I feel about myself, because that'll be dangerous, right? To fall in love with yourself in a romantic way.
Yeah.
That's actually Greek mythology stuff already, right?
Yeah.
So ako, like, I'm beginning to appreciate myself, right? But not to the extent of the romantic love that I feel for another person. In my case, a woman, a girl, a female, right?
Yeah.
So ikaw, how do you not love yourself, Mandy? How do you not love yourself? How do you know? Because the opposite of self-love is
Self-hate.
Self-hate, right? So how do you display the self-hate or self-love in the context of JM's conversation that we had a few days ago? Iyang giingon nga, he forgot about himself when he was in a relationship. He forgot about himself. So that's the context of him saying nga he wants to focus on himself.
Focus
So
on, yeah.
maybe what happened was, like I said earlier,
Mm-mm.
you actually already love yourself
Mm.
because of the physical things that you
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
You mentioned you described it
Yeah.
as physical, but I think it's more than physical. But let's just put it at that way. So there are things that you do that you that you can project to the world that you love yourself, or
Mm-mm.
describe and display to the world that you love yourself. Pero kung nakailaing tao sa imong kinabuhi nga
Mhm.
nahigugma ka that you're in love with another person,
Yeah.
you forget about the basic things. You
Mm-mm.
forget about the things that you do for yourself. I guess that's when it becomes a problem. Dili
Mm-mm.
wala lagi prioritize imong kaugalingon.
Yeah,
I-
yeah, yeah.
I'm trying to speak for JM, of course, but it's unfair. But I'm just saying it could be that.
Yeah, that's one that could be like a major aspect
Nakalimot siya
about
sa
it.
iyong kaugalingon.
Mm-mm.
So back to my question that you haven't answered yet. I don't know if you guys have an answer. Atong mga kaigsuunan nga naminaw, those that are listening to us here at Tops, you can join our conversation. You can go to Facebook, Tops Media Center. You can go to YouTube Tops Media Center. We even have a website, topsmediacenter.com, and also on TikTok, Tops Media Center.
Correction day. Ang atong Facebook page is TMC 105.1.
TMC,
Mm-hmm.
the most Cebu. Okay, so
Mhm.
Ralph, how do you not love yourself, Mandiay?
How do you not love
Because I
yourself?
already explained to you how it's a
Yeah.
given.
Mm-mm.
So how do you not love yourself, Mandiay?
Well, a lot of something I noticed sa akong generation is that a lot of us we have a problem with mental health issue. A lot of us have self-reported reported nga kaning mga mental health issues, depression and all that. And probably a big part of that is low self-esteem, and you kind of jokingly said about jokingly brought it up earlier. You're not that big of a fan of yourself. Maybe it's that kind of feeling, just a bit worse, or really worse, like maybe 5 times worse. That maybe that's like a big factor for a lot of people. So maybe it really is just like a generational thing, because it's something I've heard about primarily sa kaning Gen Z. Sa
Which
akong
is
generation. Like depression being a major problem. Kanang
But that doesn't mean that generation never existed. In fact, it's always been there. And I think even generation depression actually is more diagnosed now. That's why it seems like there's so many
it
depressed
seems
people.
like yeah.
Right, but there are statistics to show, especially outside of the Philippines, that depression is increased, suicidal ideation, and all of that stuff has increased, and a lot of that has to do with social media. So is that what you mean by not loving yourself?
Yeah, well, the thing is like katong giingon lagi nako gay na nga a lot of people in my generation, Gen Z and the millennials, have gotten used to getting validation externally rather than internally. So because it's probably, and social media was a big big factor for this, because it's so easy to get kanang validation online through likes, heart reacts, love reacts, and all that. It's so easy to get validation online, primarily online, and then you're just like it becomes like your main source of validation. So I think for quite a lot of us, when we say we're trying to learn how to love ourselves, it's really about learning how to get validation internally, that you're able to say to yourself that I am enough, and you actually mean it, and you don't need to seek.
Isn't it a dangerous thing? Because diba, I was telling you earlier nga, the number of people who want relationships, who want to get married, has dramatically decreased, diba?
Yeah.
Isn't that not dangerous, but isn't that if everybody decides to just
love themselves
and be enough for themselves, then why need anybody else?
Yeah.
Right? Why do I need anybody else? If I am enough, why do I need another partner if I am enough for myself?
Lagi.
I love me. I can just go hug myself.
Yeah, I think it's definitely like I guess matawag na to nga kanang slippery slope.
Mm.
Getting into it too much, loving yourself might become very unhealthy.
Mm.
But I think
So
it's because we've been we already have an unhealthy obsession with of getting validation, getting love or a perceived love and affection from outside,
Mm.
from like social media.
Mm.
Uh,
Okay.
and that this is like a course correction kind of thing.
Mm.
Ang kaning this trend of self-love sa among a generation,
Mm.
it's really like a course correction. It's
Mm.
because we've already gotten so used to seeking love externally
Mm.
that we need to course correct a bit and get self-love. Focus a bit more on self-love. So okay, wouldn't you say the same thing is also true if you're so used to getting love externally that you become a little too reliant on it?
You're so used to getting what
Love externally.
yeah, for
ba?
example, if you live in a healthy loving family, right,
Mhm.
then you get used to love, right, from
Mhm.
your lola to your
Yeah.
lolo to your brothers and sisters to your mom and dad to your cousins and so on and so forth. Lebanon sa Pilipinas, extended family, di ba?
Mhm.
So if you're used to love so much, what are you saying? What happens to that?
Like
Because
don't you
I
see?
normally perceive, and I think there's some proof to that, that
Mm.
people who are loved by their family
Mm-mm.
are become like very loving people themselves,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So
Pero the kind of love or the kind of affection that we're used to now, it's the kind of stuff that you get sa social media. Nga, it's not. It's just this kind of quick clicks, this quick
like,
hits of kanang
taphaw ra kayo, mabaw ra kayo.
mabahaw
Dili
ra
siya
kayo.
deep.
Mm.
Okay.
It's ikay lahi ram jud ng familial love o
Yeah,
kanang
correct, yeah.
makuha nimo sa social media.
Yeah,
And-
wait. So what's your question? Because I was just describing to you
yeah.
a person who is so used to love around them.
Yeah, in
You know,
general,
in
yeah.
general, like
Mm.
like a loving family and all of that
Mm.
stuff, right? So he's so used to that. So when he goes out into the world, he learns how to love
Others,
the way he felt.
was loved.
He
Yeah,
was
yeah.
loved, diba?
Mm-mm.
Whether he likes it or not, whether she likes it or not, mahimo na niyang automatic na niya, automatic na niya. The way he loves is actually learned from his parents, from his brothers and sisters, from his cousins, from his family, right? So muna foundation niya
Yeah.
sa gugma, sa love, di ba?
Mm-mm.
And that's the way he's going to love other people.
Yep. Pero I think
What's your question? What's your question?
My question was like, in particular with the type of affection that we're used to getting to social media.
So that's different. That's
yeah,
different.
yeah.
No?
Pero we use this manjud as like a metric for
But I don't
loving
I don't feel loved, by the way, in social media. Anyway, go continue.
Yeah. Pero, no, pero this is like our generation. My generation. Like this is
What do you mean? Isn't love a universal feeling that everybody feels? Well, how do you define love, and how? So are you saying we have different definitions of what love is? Is that what you're saying?
well. We do have
So
different
how
definitions of what love is.
How do you define love, Jay?
No, pero what I mean is like Konba, like the way we've learned to love ourselves, especially in the era of the internet, of social media,
Okay.
is through likes on on Facebook, on Twitter, and all that. Heart reacts.
So are you saying that you're like that? Do you get your love from social media? Isn't that
I think at a certain point in my life I was kind of like that.
really?
In high school in particular. Yeah.
So were you away from your parents?
No, it wasn't. I wasn't away from my parents then, but it's just something gani. It's so easy to get kind of uh it it gives you like a unsay tawag gana kanang it stimulates kanang the same what do you call that, the same parts of the brain that get stimulated when you're happy, like you
Serotonin,
yeah,
a rush kind of rush.
you get like a serotonin kind of rush when you see like big like numbers on your photos on social media and all that. And
so you were like that back in high school.
Yeah, I could
right?
definitely say
Really?
I was like that.
So what happened to you? Like, why do you get your love from social media, from its constant exposure right?
Yeah, kind of like
Or did somebody teach you that? Did somebody tell you to feel loved when you have many likes and not feel loved when you have no likes or no views? Is that what happened to you? This is actually a very interesting conversation we're having now. This is already a kind of scientific conversation, because now we're getting to the bottom of things. Why do people feel loved when there are many likes or many hearts in their social media feeds, in their social media posts, and feel not loved
when
if there's none? And it's the same love that we are talking about when you talk about because love, for me, love is like one feeling, right? They're just different iterations, right?
Yeah.
They're just different
Types of love.
different intensities, perhaps.
Intensities.
And it's more intense in certain aspects, and it's less in certain aspects. But I think this love feeling, that's why we named our show Ulipon sa Gugmang Giatay, because again, the premise of the show is that everything is love. It's one love, as Marley would put it, right? So ang imuang feeling nga dili ka well loved when you don't have likes in your social media post was in high school. Was that taught to you?
I think it's not. It was definitely not something that was taught to me. It was just something I picked up as as I started to get a lot of likes sa akong mga posts and all that. That's when I got used to a sort of I got high off of the feeling ba nga, ooh, a lot of people like what I'm saying. A lot of people like my photo, and then it
murag naanad ka. Murag naanad ka. Murag
oh.
you're used to getting likes and loves and follows and all of that stuff. So you felt that if you didn't have any, you felt like you're not being loved.
Yeah.
In case you're wondering what you're listening to, ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to the inaugural Buena Mano show of Ulipon sa Gugmang Giatay with your host. My name is Jiggyjuice, the radio personality formerly known as Jiggy Junior. Now I dropped the Junior because I grew up after 30 years of being Jiggy Junior. But it's about time you get rid of the Junior, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm my own man now.
Yes, sir.
I'm the Jiggy Juice now. And right beside me,
I'm Ralph Chavez.
so ang atong hisgutan karong buntaga is Gugma, because this is our inaugural show, right?
Yeah.
And we were talking about self-love and what it means, right? What it means
To love yourself.
to love yourself. So, ikaw, Ralph, again, let's go back because that's our only reference point that we can discuss here.
Yeah.
That you can attest to, that you heard, right? I think manggod kanang makaingon ka nga nakalimtan nimo ang imong kaugalingon, you forgot to love yourself, is a kind of thing that only happens to you if you've been in a relationship that you're so
absorbed.
You could not see anything but her. So may tabo gina malimtan nimo imong kaugalingon, di ba?
Yeah.
Not like sulti nga selfless love, right?
Yeah.
Selfless love.
Yeah.
It's a big thing, right?
Yeah, lagi.
So mo na siya naitabo siguro. Mo siguro na pasabot sa mga tao siguro.
Sa
People who are in relationships before, not necessarily romantic. It could be a a mother and daughter relationship. It could be a family that they're maybe providing for. It could be anything.
Yeah.
And then malimtan nila ilang kaugalingon because naa sila gi mas importante pa. Ilang pamilya, ilahang career, ilahang uyab.
Yeah.
Diba? So malimtan nila ilahang kaugalingon. So that's what I think is meant by self-love. Now I'm going to think of myself. I'm not going to think of my work as much. Of course, I'm still going to work because I still need to eat, but I'm not going to think of it as much. I'm no longer going to be the breadwinner of this family because I'm going to think of myself and spend for myself too, maybe, or I'm no longer going to be serving this woman or this man anymore because I'm going to focus
on myself.
I think that's what self-love means. What part of that do you think is generational?
Well, I think my understanding of like when you asked like what you asked me earlier, what does it feel like there's so many people in this people right now that are like looking for self-love. My understanding of it, Majud, is Kaan, is the fact that people can, especially now with social media, have gotten used to getting, validation, you know, uh, online and through interactions online. Meanwhile, uh, you're really supposed to be getting validation internally. That's like the healthiest way to go about it.
Validation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. That's the healthiest way to go about it. Because if you're so reliant on validation from other people, when you don't get that, you're going to you're gonna crash and burn basically, and it's going to feel really bad. That because you're also going to end up doing things that probably you normally wouldn't do just to get that validation that you're seeking. And so when you ask me why do I think a lot of people are like trying to practice self-love right now, that's the first thought that came to my mind. The fact that people I think people are trying to learn how to get validation internally rather than externally.
Yeah. Yeah. So mo lagi mo siguro na siguro it's probably related to why less and less people have relationships, less and less people are getting married. It's probably because precisely of that feeling. That's actually so Buddhist. That's so Zen, right? That nobody can affect you outside of yourself, right? Because they say true joy is uncaused, right?
Yeah.
True joy is not caused. You can be happy with a glass of wine, although one of them disappeared, right? but you can be happy with that, right?
Yeah.
But true joy is uncaused. It's not caused by any external forces, right? True joy is within. So it doesn't matter if you're in the middle of a war, you're still going to be at peace because you have what they call that's actually a Buddhist concept, right?
Yeah, it is.
So because the closer we get to that, the less and less people feel that they need a partner, a romantic relationship, because they say, again, this is a Buddhist precept. It's attachment that weighs us down. If we're attached to things, if we're attached to people, if we're attached, if we are attached to relationships, they weigh us down. So these are very Buddhist concepts, and we can learn a thing or two from the Buddhists, right?
We can.
But if we take it to heart too much, I think may tabo na, I don't need anything else. I got me, right? I got the true cause of my joy, the person in the mirror.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like that's something people in my generation, siguro, like not a lot of us learned yet.
Which one? Buddhism?
Not Buddhism. Like you can be the source of your joy, your joy. A lot of us, we try to find it in other people, and maybe that's why they're trying to learn how to self-love, prioritize themselves.
Correct. But how about the idea that we're all social beings? We really need to to
interact,
to love and be loved, and so on and so forth. Right? That's actually the opposite of those Buddhist precepts that we talked about.
Lagi.
How does that? How do you feel about that with the Buddhist concept? Rubbing with that concept of no man is an island, and we all want to be loved and be loved.
Yeah, well, I think it is most definitely in our nature, Jude, to be social creatures and to seek love, and to want to be loved and all that, and no man is an island lagi. That's, I think, default did not sa mga tao. That's what we want. And
you don't think that's learned? You don't think that's learned? We don't learn that from our parents, from people around us. If there was a baby, let's have a thought experiment. If there was a baby left in the wild, right? And
Yeah.
for some reason, I don't know why, like maybe the lion, instead of eating the baby, they fed the baby, right?
Yeah.
So nitubo siya, o niya, kaning, what siya kaning, the usual love expressions of a human being ba? So do you think this person can fall in love in the same way that a human being is? Do you think that love is an innate, inborn programming? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I think it's not love, but rather ang atong desire for social interaction. So in that scenario, na imong gihatag, most likely ang ilang social interaction is going to be like playing with the other cats and all that.
Try switching the cameras though, if you can.
Okay.
So
okay.
their intuition is to play with the other lions or tigers,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Because even
So, what-
animals have like certain
Yeah,
social
expressions of love, right? Like for example, kanang dog nga mawag sila silang tail, di ba? So they have expressions of love too, right?
Yeah.
So kung pananglitan ang usa ka tawo wala siya experience of what other human beings do for love, then he will learn the love language, the love expressions of the species. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I
Okay.
think that would most definitely be the case. Kaya I can remember ang cases sa mga feral nga children, like
Feral nga mga what's a feral children? What do you mean?
yeah, there were some kids nga kuan, they ended up in the wild.
Okay.
Anya ang mga hayop ang nagpadako nila, and they acted like the animal that raised them. So it really is the case nga if you if sa katong hypothetical nga imong gihatag, if a child is raised by a bunch of tigers, a bunch of lions, that child is probably going to act like a lion
and love the way
the way.
So in many ways, love language and expressions of love are learned, right?
Yeah.
And it's not a built-in thing, right? It's not a given, right?
Well, part of it is taught, like how to interact. That's what's taught. But the desire to interact, I think that's something that's innate.
Yeah, because you you would not have been there if there was no other, right? Right? There you could not have possibly existed. You were not probably been given a chance to be born unless by miracle that there were no people around you, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you're so used to having people around you. You're so used to being hugged and kissed and told that that I love you and so on and so forth, and somebody feeds you when you're young. So naanad man ka na bay. So
Yeah.
kung naanad ka na, of course you're going to long for it.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
again, another thought experiment. If you were born alone, you would not crave for company because you don't know any better. Diba? Wa man kakabawon what it is to talk to another person. This is just a thought experiment, of course.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Don't you agree with me? If a person was born all alone, he was like the only person, he would not feel love. Now we're trying to explore the mind of God. Maybe this person we're talking about is God. So, diba,
Oh, no.
diba? So, do you agree with me though? You guys, how about you? Please, if you want to join our conversation, look us up on our social media platforms. Can you tell them the exact locations of our TikTok, Facebook, YouTube? Go ahead.
Well, guys, if you want to join our conversation, hit us up over at Facebook at TMC 105.1, at YouTube at Tops Media Center, also over at our TikTok page, Tops Media Center. If gusto mo join in sa atong conversation, ganahan mo comment unsa man jud ning gugma jiggy. Then pwede mo comment dire sa atong live.
So good afternoon or good morning or good evening, whatever time zone you're listening to us now all over the world, and also good evening sa atong mga gwapog, mga gwapa nga mga kaigsunan. Good evening, guys, our friends here from Sky 360. Good evening to Jane, Mary Joyce Batuon Cal. Kasi ni morning parinti kaila ka ni si Mary Joyce Batuon Cal. Kaila ka niya?
Oh, kan staff man na dire sa souvenir.
Oo.
Kauban na.
Maayong gabi ni mo diha atong mga kaigsunan diha sa souvenir shop sa Tops. Daghang salamat sa inyong pagpaminaw. It is always a pleasure to know that you're out there. So na among gisgutan karong gabi una is gugma in general, di ba? And naabot namin sa topic nga self-love. So ang akong sunod nga pangutana ninyo guys and also to you Ralph is how do you show self-love? What's the first thing that comes to mind that you do to yourself when you say self-love?
What's the first thing I do to myself when I talk about
to yourself, because it's self-love, right?
Yeah. First thing
that comes to mind.
First thing that comes to mind.
How do you love yourself?
How do I love myself?
Hey me, I love you. How do you say that? Unsa man nimo be? Pasabta ko nako Ralph be. Saan mo nimo paggugma sa imong kaugalingon? Weird sa paminawon sa?
Yeah, lagi.
Kung imong bisayon ba, di ba?
Oo, lagi.
Self-love is such a thing right now, di ba?
Lagi.
But imong higugmaon imong kaugalingon, bro. So, hey, what's going on, man? Sounds weird.
How you doing? Good looking? Yeah, first thing you do with self-love apparently is if you look for a mirror, you stare at the mirror, then you tell yourself, hey there, good looking.
So how what's the first thing that comes to mind when you think of self-love? What's the first thing that you do that says and speaks that you love yourself?
Well, I guess for me, the first thing that comes to mind when I think of self-love is indulging in my hobbies, like because probably one of the things that I think of of when I think of self-love is like spoiling myself by giving myself things that I want to do or I like to eat, something like that. So maybe I think of like eating a comfort food or like indulging in my hobbies, playing video games, reading comics and all that.
But don't you do that very often?
No, not really. Not as much these days.
So you don't eat as much comfort food as you want. You don't play video games as you want.
As much as I want to. Yeah.
Okay.
No.
So nakalimtan na nimo imong kagulingon. Ha? Kay siguro na kay panahon to eat your comfort food, na kay panahon mo watch og video game or mo play og video games.
Yeah.
Kay pa man kay trabaho atong una. Karon nga nandrabaho na ka. Wala na ka atong mga bisyo ha, di ba? Whatever to show yourself.
Yeah.
But did you ever think of those things as loving yourself back then when you did them?
Did I ever think of them as a form of loving myself?
I don't think it crossed your mind, right? You were just doing it, right?
Yeah, it definitely didn't cross my mind.
So maybe
this is me loving myself.
So maybe you're not really loving yourself when you do the thing that you miss doing, eating comfort food or playing video games. You just miss it, right? You just miss it.
Well, yeah. Per sako, it's like how people usually like to shower other people with their affection is like they give them things that they know they like, and this is just me saying I know I like video games. It's been a while. I want to play video games.
Yeah, so bad, right? But you can always play.
It's kind of very sad to listen to. No, I love myself by playing video games,
which is fine. I mean, if that's what you want, that's what you want. Ako, Ralph, the first thing that really comes to mind when I say self-love is give myself some alone time. That's really the way I express my love for myself. I go to a coffee shop. Hopefully, it's empty. No distractions. Unya, magkapi-kapi ko, magmuni ko, magunhuna ko sa akong kinabuhi. I listen to my breath. Hopefully, maybe there's like a nice little book that I'm holding. I'm probably going to read a few lines, or perhaps if the book is good, finish the book, right? And I usually want to do it. There are scenarios that I want when I want to show some self-love in my head, and I've tried to sit with sand on my feet and the waves of the water in the background of the beach in the background, and having my it's got to be like brewed coffee. I don't care how hot. I don't care how hot it is. It's got to be hot brewed coffee, right? And that's it. that's really the scenario
Mm.
that says, "Hey, me, I love you."
So in a
No.
way, it's like you're still also indulging in the things that you like, diba? You like brewed coffee, you like reading,
Yeah, but it's more of the. Well, it's an overall. It's many things, right?
Mhm.
But more importantly, it's just
The alone
the
time.
alone time, because
Mm.
when you're alone, manggod, that's the only time that you can actually hear yourself,
Mm.
right? Because you can't love something that you don't acknowledge, right?
Mm. Yeah, yeah.
That you don't hear. So
Mhm.
I think that's the way I do it. Like I'm just with me, and hopefully I don't hate my thoughts that much, you know, hopefully I don't think of thoughts that I don't like, and so on and so forth, right? So that's
Yeah,
how I
yeah.
show. How about you guys? How do you show self love, right?
Yeah, yeah.
How do you show self love? Our friends here on Sky 360, if you want to join our conversation, you can join us on our social media platforms, Tops Media Center on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, and on our website,
Mhm.
topsmediacenter.com. And all of our friends who are watching us right now, sila ni Jane and everybody, daghang salamat sa inyong pagpaminaw, sa inyong pagtanaw, unsa man ninyo pag-express sa inyong gugma, sa
Mhm.
inyong kaugalingon. How do you
Yeah, yeah.
show yourself that you love yourself? And is it correct to say? I've heard this said before. I don't know if this is correct.
Mhm.
Please comment on this, Ralph, and everyone listening.
Sige, go.
The way you love other people can only be as much as you love yourself. Meaning to say,
Okay.
if you don't even like yourself,
You won't
so
be able to.
you won't be able to like, or even how much more love other
Mhm.
people.
Yeah.
What do you think about that statement? Is that correct?
Yeah, I think that's very very correct.
Mm.
Like it's kind of like one of the things that I've heard about get talked about a lot recently as
Mm.
well.
Mm.
For a lot of people, the journey into self love is about learning how to love themselves,
Mm.
because some of them really don't know
Mm.
what loving themselves looks like,
Mm.
and because of that, they try to get into relationships with other people,
Mm.
and since they don't know how to love themselves, they don't know how to love other people, and
Mm.
the relationship ends up failing.
Mm.
So tungod ana, there's a lot of people who are like on a kind of like a self journey
Mm.
to try to discover what it means to love themselves,
Mm.
because if you can't love yourself, then how can you expect to love another person?
Mm.
Uh, I think it definitely
So
run.
kung sige kag duwa og video games, unya sige kag kaon og humba, pasabot nimo na nimo nga kibaw ka mo mahigugma sa ubang tao. Right? Kung dili ka mo mundang na ka og duwa og video games, or di na ka makaon og humba, dili na ka
Mm.
kibaw mo higugma sa ubang tao, or kung dili ka mobuhat ng mga butanga, dili ka kibaw mo higugma sa ubang mga tao. Is that what you're saying? Huh?
Maybe.
Huh? Huh?
I think Miss
No.
Glenda put it better than
Mm.
I did.
No.
She said,
Unsa man?
"You cannot give what you do not have."
So we'll get to that. Ha? Pero
Mhm.
na ako'y comment, Ralph, ba? Speaking
Uh,
of self-love ba? Ganiha ba? Feeling gwapo kay ko ganiha sa atong video.
oh,
Karon usab man na nimo. Can you go back to the original video?
it,
Not katong bitong originally when there were like there's only like
two views.
there was like a bigger screen. Ano man to nga murag man to nakoy daghang self-love ato, karon murag self-hate, murag lainas feeling oy.
Ang kan gi-recommend mo dito sa ako okay para makita pod sa atong mga viewers
Oh, lagi, pero
kining mga kaubanan nato diri sa Sky 360.
I don't mind. It's
Mhm.
just nga it doesn't look the same.
Mm.
Unsam tong Angola di ay? Nga murag di man kay ko murag anyway.
Mas close up man dito nga kuan nga
Mas gwapo di ta kung close up di ay.
yes, mas nindot kita tanawon kung i-zoom in na to.
Sige na lang.
Mm.
Ay zoom in ko no gamay di para gwapo-gwapo sa tagamay taon. Malo,
Okay, sige.
maloy sa ta sa mama na to eh. So but they also say that the way you love other people also is the way that you are loved by your parents,
Okay.
by your siblings, by family. So kana ko nung mga you have to correct me if I'm wrong, ladies and gentlemen, our listeners and our friends here who are here at Sky 360. Maayong gabi sa atong mga kaigsuonan nga naminaw nato diri sa Tops. Kung ganahan mo mosalmot sa atong program, if you want to join our conversation, just feel free to do so and go to our social media platforms. Nag-ingon sila kana kung mga tao kuno nga mura og wa sila bati sila relationship silang papa. Na yung mga quote-unquote daddy issues.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Kanang na yung mga issues sa mga mama. Kaning dili sila ganahan o kaning nga po sila mommy issues. Right?
Yeah.
Pananglitan kanang mga, di ba, kadaghanan ng not kadaghanan but uban nga mga lalaki nga ni biya nga single mom, di ba?
Yeah.
Kanang ang anak usa ka single mom lahi kuno na sila muhigugma. In fact, probably in many ways they don't know how to love a man because they don't have a good foundation ba, especially those nga wala na usually magud mapulihan magud na og ganing imong lolo, di ba? Or imong uncle, di ba?
Yeah.
Na father figure ba? The way kuno people who were born and raised without male or a female counterpart, lahi kuno na sila mahigugma. I don't know if that's correct. What do you think of that?
Well, I certainly hear people complain about things like that. Like the person I used to date had daddy issues or mommy issues, and because of that, they were kind of weird or something like that. There were certain things about how they were in the relationship that felt off, gani, and maybe that it really is the case. People who weren't shown love, normal, what is perceived as normal, kind of normal parental love, or who didn't get enough love, rather. As well, kay ang ilang paghigugma pod, kay it's going to be a little bit twisted.
Correct, yeah. Pananglitan imong papa ni biya, ang imong amahan ni biya, di ba? Or wala gyud ka nakakita sa imong papa, di ba? Ang imong hunahuna is mga tanang nga mga lalaki mo biya. Diba?
Yeah.
You probably don't think about that consciously, but at the back of your in your unconscious, kasi mo na, diba? Maybe you don't even notice that, right? And then maybe you need to talk to a specialist, maybe like a psychiatrist or psychologist, to be able to understand mo uday ngayon ani ko klase nga tao di ba?
Ang imong mga deep-seated nga mga traumas and all that kay mo surface man jud na in the relationship. And a lot of people with unresolved nga trauma kay they don't mean to do it, pero they end up hurting their partner.
Correct, yeah. Right? So importante jud kay ang pundasyon the foundation of where you get your love, right? Right? So kung naa kay parents, swerte ka, di ba? Kung naa kay papa o mama nga loving, naa kay mga brothers and sisters, although usually kanang mga brothers or sisters alam mo love-hate relationship man di ba? Di ba?
It's its own type of loving relationship.
It's own type of love, di ba? Unya kung masurtian ka at a young age, na kay mga amigo, amiga, nga loving pod, pero I think magud kanang at that age nga you already have a circle of friends ba?
Yeah.
I think in many ways that's kind of, I don't know, maybe too late, right? Because you already formed the idea of what it is,
what love is,
love is, right? From a young age you didn't have any, and then now you're with this a bunch of strangers who became your friends. So murag maybe the way you love them perhaps as friends will probably be different from the way normally how normal friends would love each other.
Yeah, I think that can definitely be the case. I think the foundation really starts at home, and if kuwang or insakto ang gihatag nga higugma sa imuha, kay madala jud nimo in every other relationship that you have in life.
So I think it helps. To first of all, we're no experts here, right?
Yeah.
None of us here are psychiatrists or psychologists. We're just human beings who have lived and loved and know a little bit about it.
Yeah, lived, loved, and
but
hurt.
but I think it helps to first of all go to a psychiatrist, like I said, and number two, to understand also your past. Diba?
Yeah, yeah.
Of course, you know what your past is, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then give yourself some leeway, ba? Give your maybe be more generous to yourself.
Yeah.
And be more honest to yourself about your past.
Yeah.
And how it has affected the way you love, right? And it's not like I don't know if it's enough to know your past and the way you were loved when you were young, but I think you can also perhaps change it, right? If you want, if it's not working out for you, right? Maybe you're for example, if those that have daddy issues, maybe this person that I'm in love with is not my daddy, right? But they're also saying, but I don't know if you also agree with me with this, bay, Ralph. Kani ko nung ang ato ko nung kung lalaki ko nung imo ako nung pangitaon ko in your subconscious is your mom. Somebody like your mom.
Okay. You brought that up sa una, and I really don't think.
And same way as sa babae.
Sa babae.
Imong gipangita somebody like your dad.
Your dad.
Kay mo man imuhang
naandan.
This is where you learn what love is.
Yeah. From your parents.
Di ba naman yun ay mother and son relationship, na father and daughter relationship.
Yeah.
Murag in many ways that is extra murag special gyud na ba nga relationship ba?
Yeah.
So that's where you learn what love is. So imong gipangita kung well loved ka by your dad is exactly like him, whether you admit it or not. And same goes with the girl with the boys. Like you look for your mom, at least the way that they take care of you, because makaingon ka nga bo ang akong mama kaning mo ni buhaton niya nako nya karon nga wala na hinuon. You miss that ba? I don't know, man. I'm just saying that people are saying that. And, and in many respects, I kind of agree with it, but not totally.
Not totally. Yeah. I also find it very hard to wrap my head around kanang concept, because if I'm looking at like some of the the women I've loved and have sought love from. I really can't compare them to my mom. I don't think they're anything alike at all. So diligent ko makaingon nga. I think whoever said that, you should probably double check ang ilang kanang hard drives. You should check their browser history.
But isn't that logical though? That the way you love, you learn from your mom and your dad, diba? Right? Didn't we already agree to that concept? The first your experience of love is from your mom and your dad.
Yeah.
So isn't that almost logical? Of course, you're gonna look for your mom because she's the person who ever loved you, and of course, maybe not the way they look. Maybe it could be that also, but it could be just the way they take care of you, but this is unconscious. You don't know this. So I'm asking you, isn't that logical? That's where you learn love. The first person who loved you, don't you want the same also, or no?
I think it is logical. Yeah, it definitely kind of makes sense. Pero there are certain aspects.
Maybe you don't want to. You don't want to think that you're looking for your mom because that sounds creepy, right?
It does, yeah. That's why I don't want to think about it. I really don't want to think about it. It just sounds so weird. Like whoever thought of that, maybe we should like double check ang ilang hard drive, double check ilang search history, kay murag basin you might be a little bit weird.
Si Glenda ni apil-apilo. Mayong gabi ni na Glenda nganong makadiri Glenda. Anyway, you cannot give what you do not have.
Oh, yeah.
So what does that mean? What does that mean? Because I hear that a lot, right? You can't share anything if your cup is empty, right?
Yeah.
So and so on and so forth. What does that mean? What do you need to have to be able to share it? And in what amounts is it?
Yeah. Ni also ningon po
Let's talk about that later on. Let's do that first.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you cannot give what you do not have. In relation to love lagi, kuan. Kana lagi nga katong gihiskot lagi. This comment came up a little bit earlier. Katong gihiskot na to nga kuan. If you're not getting the right, if you're not getting the right kind of love at home, mo podang imong mapadala sa kuan imong mga relationships outside of the home. So if you're not getting any love at home, wala pud kay madala sa gawas. Because you don't know what it feels like to love, or what it's like to love. So when you try to love somebody else, you might end up bringing a lot of the hurt that you get. You might end up bringing that into the relationship unconsciously. A lot of it might be unconsciously, but kana lagi. Mga deep-seated traumas na to. It's all the thoughts in the back of our minds and all that. And
so dili din na usab ang ato ang paghigugma by maybe reading books, I know a lot of people when they're young who used to read like romantic novels, diba? Or watch movies, or and so on and so forth. Don't we learn how to love? Can loving be learned? Can the way you love be learned?
I think it can most definitely be learned. Though I wouldn't always rely on our entertainment mediums for like novels and all that.
Not necessarily entertainment medium,
but not necessarily. We can learn how to love.
So where do you go to school? Where's the school of love? Asa man be?
For most people, the school of love is you just jump right into it. you just jump in right.
The school of hard knocks, right?
Yeah. Learning the hard way.
So ngano man abay nganong wala may eskwelahan sa gugma. Nganong dili man ka maka-eskwela? Kaning dad mo eskwela ko kaning kuan ni siya BS ni siya nga kurso, 4-year degree ni siya. I'm going to go to BS in love. Nganong dili mo kapaskwelahon na sa imong imahan be? Isn't it the best thing to learn ever in your life?
It probably is the best thing to learn ever, pero feel na ko ang reason nga
di makakorta na ang gugma.
Dili. The reason nga walay eskwelahan para sa gugma, it's because nobody wants to publicly admit that they don't know how to love.
So mga eskwela si Jiggy dito kaya di ka ba mo love, di ba?
Oh yeah, kana.
So, anonymous na lang. Online ba? Online class lang ba, di ba?
Online class.
Kanang private class lang.
kana siguro daw na mga private nga lessons.
Because this is easily the most talked about topic of all time. I can tell you that right now with a high degree of certainty, right? So there's so many things that we've learned about love. Why isn't there a school of love?
Yeah, it's just
itay maghimo atong sultian si Leo ba sa UP Leo maghimo tag
maghimo tag kurso para sa gugma.
School of love, right? So Glenda also mentioned boy electra complex ko yon mga kuan naman ni mga kaning psychological mga kang kuan naman ni kang Sigmund Freud man uban ni.
Oh lagi.
Asa no tunawag tang lagi?
Ambot nawa man to.
Gipapa siguro to niya.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what happened.
Anyway,
so boy electra complex and girl kay Oedipus nga.
Oedipus complex, right?
Oedipus complex.
And so on and so forth.
I think baliktad man.
Carl Jung. Si Carl Jung.
Carl Jung. Okay.
Wait. Electra girl. Unsa man na?
No, baliktad. Ang Oedipus kay ang boy. Ang Electra kay ang girl. Electra complex.
So I know that si Sigmund Freud o si Carl Jung, they're easily two of the most misunderstood and most maligned or even criticized psychologists, right? Because some of the things that they thought were really controversial at that time and still is controversial until now, right? So what is that? What's Oedipus complex?
Oedipus complex is kanang the boy has a unhealthy attraction to his mother, and the Electra complex is the girl has an unhealthy attraction to their father. So romantic attraction, something along the lines of that.
No, that's
And
weird.
yeah, it is super weird.
Yeah.
Pero I still remember somebody like naging like joke bahin ani ba that they were like, can you imagine how hot Sigmund Freud's mother must have been that when he published this paper, everybody else in the psychological field was just like, huh, yeah, checks out. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Because
And
why did they just accept this
I
thing?
remember
Because
a scene now of Back to the Future when Michael J. Fox's character went back in time, right? And actually, there was kind of a romantic thing going on with his mom, right?
With his mom,
Right?
Yeah, got it.
And you know, if you didn't know that was your mom, if you don't have, you'll probably fall in love with your mom, right? If you don't know that she's your mom. What happened to that scene? Do you remember the scene? I have a vague recollection of that scene in Back to the Future when he went back in time and fell in love with his mom.
He wasn't the one who fell in love with her.
Oh,
it was the opposite.
Oh,
his
wow.
mom fell in love with him.
Wow. So what happened?
Yeah, it was kind of like Con. He accidentally, I think it was because like from how I remember it is like his mom and dad met when he shielded her from getting hit by a car or something like that, and I don't know why, but I think he wasn't thinking of it in the moment. But like when he traveled back in the past, when Marty Fly traveled back in the past, he saw a girl who was about to get hit by a car, and he stepped in and he saved her. So instead of falling in love with the dad who rescued her at the time, she ended up falling in love with him. So it was the other way around.
So opposite today.
Opposite to siya.
Opposite. Atong tak na karon our time now. It is 9:20 in the evening. Good evening, you guys. Thank you so much for listening to us and watching us on our social media platforms. Also, maayong gabi. Good evening. Magandang gabi po sa atong mga kaigsuonan, our friends here at the Sky 360. The Sky 360 is actually the fourth level of Tops. This is a totally and completely different experience from what you would experience at the Circle. So, Obos, diba? Because you have a 360-degree view of the city of Cebu, right?
And Busay.
And Busay. And, of course, this is the best spot to enjoy New Year's.
Definitely.
Right? And this New Year's Eve, we're gonna have something extra special for all of you, right? We've already ironed out some kinks. We've learned from our first ever New Year's Eve party here last year. Now, this year is going to be extra special. I can promise you that. Whatever mistakes we made last year, we're gonna double down and triple the experience to make it even a remarkable and memorable New Year's Eve experience, because kanamang New Year good actually is a very special day for all of us, right?
Yeah,
Kaya
it is.
kanamang New Year good, like it is the beginning of a new life, right? A new
chapter
a
in
new
your
chapter.
life.
Like it's like trying to get rid of 2025, which a lot of people would want to do, right? Forget about it, get rid of it. Earthquakes and typhoons and corruption and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can get rid of it.
Get past of it.
And hopefully start anew next year. So importante ka na. That's why it's important to have the best experience, and the best experience, at least the best view of all of the fireworks in Cebu.
Yeah.
It's like you have a billion pesos worth of fireworks, and you don't have to spend a single centavo in the fireworks. Just be here and watch everybody, burn their money.
Yeah. That's one way of looking at it. Yeah.
So anyway, that's our New Year's Eve party, and I think you can get tickets for that, and you better get them right now, because I think they're selling like anything. And speaking of Tops ba, usa sad sa mga pinaka-importante nga aspects ba for love to thrive ba are the environment, the conditions ba, di ba?
Yeah.
You know, like for example, let's not look too far. Diri sa tops, di ba? Tugnaw, di ba? So ganahan gyud ang partner nimo nga magsikit-sikit gamay, di ba? Magpahaghag, di ba?
Yeah.
Di ba? And then you have an opportunity to give her your jacket or your sweater, di ba? Or do something for her. And also I think kaning tugnaw sad also, I don't know, man, it feels romantic. I don't know. And the city lights, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
If you want to do something big, when it comes to romantic love, I think this is the place to do it, right?
I can definitely agree with that. And I think ang atong mga kaubanan dire sa Sky 360, they can agree with that because look, there are a couple of what I believe are couples paired up outside right now. Maayong gabi sa inyo hatanan.
Maayong gabi ninyo diha. Good evening, you guys. If you want to listen to us and join our conversation, you can go to our social media platforms, 105.1 TMC Tops Media Center, on our social media platforms on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, and our website, topsmediacenter.com. So yeah, part of it has to be the conduciveness of the place, right? Kanang pananglitan ba? Kanang mo eskwela pa ka, di ba?
Yeah.
Na kasi eskwelahan. Ngano man nga mogawas man ako kay nung jud daghang kay kog mga crush, mga and this. Ngano man ba why is the school environment conducive to romantic relationships, or at least romance to brew? Why is it like a petri dish for romance?
Maybe it's because it's the like probably the first place most of us start interacting with a lot of people of who we could potentially become attracted to, who aren't our relatives and all that. Or
hopefully.
Yeah. Hopefully, because I actually remember a case. They were about to get into a relationship, but then later on they found out they were cousins.
Oh no!
Oh no! Yeah, they're like, why are you in my family reunion? Why are you in my family reunion? It's like, oh, you guys are cousins.
You bless your tita. Samuka.
But yeah, I think that's probably the main reason why ang kanang eskwelahan, it ends up becoming this like place for many people to start having their like first crushes, their first love. I think that's why school is probably the I don't know about best environment, but like the first environment siguro where love starts brewing for most people in their lives.
Yeah, because you interact very often, diba? I have another theory I remember I had when I was a kid. Not kid, like when I was in high school, I think. I said something in my head. I said something like, you can actually fall in love with anyone the more you get to know them. You know what I mean? Like it only. I was thinking about it in a theoretical sense. No matter how physically unappealing you think a person is, the more you know them, the more you understand them, you can actually fall in love with them.
I think that's actually a really good theory. Kay, I've heard these stories naman sa nga kan people in a relationship with another person that their friends and maybe a lot of other people don't find conventionally attractive. Or like they would say things like, "Day, gwapa man kay kadayan niya imong uyab kay pangit kay gnaong."
Maybe ni follow siya sa advice ni Andrew E. nga kung ganahan ka malipay, humanap ka ng pangit. Ha?
Basin ni tuo siya na, or basin she got to know the person, she or he got to know this person, and this person was actually a really wonderful person to be around para sa ila ha. And that's why they chose them. but you know, we can never really fully know the story. But
Yeah.
mo nang thought nako about the
Pero
matter.
there are also times nga there are people nga you just hate, right? Like murag but see I have a story for you.
Mhm.
I remember there was this person, my classmate, who used to like hate this girl,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then they at the end of this at the end of of high school, they were actually together, right? He
Yeah.
hated they hated each other like anything, man. Like grabe jud kayo sige sila away sige sila
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
they would like hit each other kanimdum ka tong una uso pa na kanang panyo bitaw nga iwitik bitaw, I don't know if nakabot ka na.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Anyway, they would like insult each other, you know, like,
yeah.
and then
yeah.
they eventually fell in love, and then one of them actually, one of my best friends actually, they got married.
Oh wow.
So nga naman na ba? Nga nung- so that's an example of somebody that you hate.
yeah,
You
yeah.
actually, because you spent so much time hating on them, you eventually fell in love with them. right?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's a ang kanang gitawag nila nga enemies to lovers nga trope sa romance.
Nga naman na ba? Nga naman na.
I somebody said I heard this a while back nga love and hate are actually very similar nga emotions daw.
Yeah.
And
In fact,
I never heard the explanation of it, pero
Love
matong
and
giingon nila.
love and hate is the same coin. The same coin, just opposite sides lang, but it's the same coin.
It's the same
The
coin.
opposite of love is actually not hate. The opposite of love is indifference. That's what they're saying.
Okay. Okay, very interesting.
So it's not hate because if you can't hate somebody you don't love.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
And
You can't you know, for example, if you love life and there's a killer, then you hate the killer because you know you love life, right? You know,
okay.
it's always hate cannot exist without love and vice versa.
Vice versa. Yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Na-comment si Miss Glenda ang in psychology daw, proximity triggers dopamine release. Thus, this is why it creates a feeling of like or even love.
Because the more you know each other, the more you get to appreciate them, right?
Yeah. And the more you interact with somebody.
But it's also possible nga because of your past, your traumatic past, perhaps. Nga the more you know them, the more it reminds you of somebody that you perhaps did not like or hated, right? That's also possible, right?
Yeah, it is.
Anyway, atong gihisgutan karong gabi una, just in case you just tuned in, atong mga kaigsuonan nga nanaw nato og naminaw nato sa ato ang social media platforms at topsmediacenter.com, ang ato ang website, ang ato ang YouTube, unsa atong YouTube?
YouTube, Tops Media Center.
Tops Media Center on YouTube. On TikTok, it's
Tops Media Center gyapon.
On
Ang
Facebook?
Facebook, it's TMC 105.1.
So we're talking about love and all of its various forms. Mo man atong inaugural episodes ato ang programa nga gitawag nato Ulipon sa Gugmang Giatay. Because we believe, I believe at least, that everything is love. Everything is about love. I remember one of the interviews with when I used to be a fan of Joe Rogan. I remember he interviewed Elon Musk, and this was also at the time when I used to be a fan
Of
of Elon Musk. Of course, si Elon Musk o si Joe Rogan has already left my heart. Anyway, this was years ago, right? I remember this is the way Joe Rogan phrased the question. He asked Elon Musk, you know, you're the guy who's invented this and that, has become the richest man in the world, and all of these things that you've accomplished, right? At the end of the day, what do you think this is all about? He said like, why do all of this? Why are you doing? And his simple answer was, it's love, man. At the end of the day, it's all about love. It's all about love.
So even
somebody as successful as groundbreaking as Elon Musk, he admits that everything is nothing without
love.
Love. It's really at the end of the day, It's just love.
So every endeavor, it's about love.
Abso-freaking-lutely,
Mm-hmm.
right? Love of country, right?
Mm-hmm.
Love of your alma mater,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Love of parents,
Yeah.
love of material things,
Mm-hmm. Love of
you know,
money.
love of money, right? Everything is about love.
Yeah.
Loving the job, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Loving the advocacy.
Loving talking.
Everything is about love, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everything
Yeah,
is love.
yeah. So that's why it's when we're talking about love, something you can just never stop talking about because it's all around you, diba?
I love you guys. I love you. Okay, thank you so much. We're talking about love here. In case you want to join our conversation, just go to our social media platforms, okay? Oh, somebody's giving us a heart shape.
Yeah.
I love you too, bro. Thank you, man. Thank you. You know, I you know, sometimes you have to put yourself out there
Mm-hmm.
to feel love, right?
Mm-hmm.
But see, it's also not just love, right? That if you can also feel hate. There's also
yeah.
like a negativity out there, especially
Definitely.
on social media, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's so much anonymity. There's animosity. I'm sorry. There's so much hate. Sometimes it's kind of a dangerous place. Sometimes, especially if you reach a certain popularity, right?
Yeah.
Kanang mga social media influencers, which there are a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
Maabot na gina sila. I hear this. There's a certain number that you reach, it gets toxic, you know. It gets toxic. So I think it's like 1 million. Once you have like 1 million followers or something like that, you've attracted like some of your great friends and your fans, but some of them are like
Your greatest enemies.
you're the undesirable stuff.
Yeah. I think that's definitely the case.
Yeah.
In fact, probably one of the biggest traps people fall into sa kaning social media and all that is pa shout out daw si Enola.
Enola, asa man si Enola?
Sa atong TikTok live. Enola.
Asa man ni si Enola?
Mayong gabi.
Asa man ni si Enola? Mayong gabi ninyo diha tanan. Kung naamoy mga shout-outs o mga greetings, just let us know. Especially those that are watching us on the social media platforms and also here at Tops. Mayong gabi ninyo diya, sir.
Yeah. Mayong gabi Enola. She says, Enola says nga, went there earlier, naka-green satin top, saw you live for the first. I love the topic.
Yeah.
Way. I think Enola was ang girl that was here earlier. And
wow.
niingon siya, I think, ikaw ba tong kan? Taga Bohol, Enola? Ikaw ba to?
What do you mean? Did he mention nga taga Bohol siya?
Yeah. Like you were asking somebody outside if kan taga Cebu sila niya. And then they were like they mouthed nga taga Bohol daw sila.
She doesn't look like a tarsier lagi. Ha?
Hoy.
Mo taga Bohol, mura mo ko tarsier kuno. Dili natin nod ba?
Oh, dili ko makaingon ka. I haven't met that many people from Bohol.
Ang mga taga Cebu mura mo sa glitsyon tanawon.
Kana tinood na.
Kanang gasinaw lang ang ngabil, di ba? Samug ka lagi. Anyway, we're actually enjoying this and we could do this all night and all day. But Ralph, why do you think nga kaning this is a topic that is being discussed and talked about now on the social media platforms, especially on Facebook? I see that in my feeds.
Yeah.
Can you give us the story exactly? What happened Monday to Ellen Adarna o Derek Ramsey?
Ay.
Ha? Unsa na? Pasabta ko kay ang maybe you can Google that if you don't know the story, but maybe you already know because you seem like a marites to me.
Oh, no.
Ang akong katapusan nga nakitaan is I think it was today nga I didn't even know this nga si Ellen Adarna day based sa Manila day. Onya mauli na kuno siya or once the schedule of the kids kuno how do you call this allow it mauli na kuno siya and bring the kid. I think they have only one child, right? Together, right?
I'm not 100%
so
sure.
do you know the story about?
I don't know the full story, Jude. I just saw like the headline.
What
There's
did you,
trouble in paradise or something.
What did you see?
I just saw that like a quick headline where there's some kind of trouble in paradise, selling relationship or something along the lines of that. I didn't bother to read the full thing because actually, despite my looks, dili jud ko marites. I'm not that big on kanang celebrity gossip. I'm right. Enola was the girl from earlier. She says, yeah, that was me. I really love your perspective. Thanks you remember me. We're already at the port now.
Really now?
Oh, we're niulit na sila para sa Bohol.
Ano man? Airport, seaport, carport, ano man?
What's it a port, no? Like
port of entry?
Port of entry.
Anyway, so ang akong sunod nga pangutana siguro kay hisgot na magita og Derek Ramsey og Ellen Adarna ba kaning mga kani bang magbuwag ba? Right? Do you
seaport today?
Seaport. Wow.
Dali ara nila ninyo nakanaog.
Wow, and they can still listen to us, right? And they can hear us. Thank you so much. And maybe you can share it to your friends and your relatives, okay? Show us some love naman. Diba? Share it to your friends so they can also listen to us talk about love. We're gonna try to do this as often as we can because we love love. You love love, right?
I definitely do.
So kaning cheating issue ba? Kana bang relationship ba nga magbuwag ba? Some people mura og kana magdivorce, magbuwag, some societies look at this as a bad thing, as a loss or something bad that happened to you. But some people actually there's something to celebrate about when you have been together for such a long time, you know, and nagbuwag mo because of whatever issue, right? Isn't for example, you've been together for 10 years, right? 10 years. 10 years, right? 10 years. This is a hypothetical question.
Yeah.
So you're able to have a happy life for 100 years, for 10 years, right? And then nagbuwag mo when you turn 100 years old, right? or whatever, right? So do you look at it as a win? Huh? Ano yung harap ko na di ba ka na mamatay ka, di ba?
Yeah, lagi.
That right now, especially Budoy, God rest your soul, rest in peace, bro.
Yeah.
Si Budoy, bago lang namatay, we're not mourning his death, we're celebrating his life. Isn't that the same also with relationships? Kung magbuwag mo, of course, nag-away mo, blah, 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 but isn't there so much to celebrate also that you were together for so long? Isn't that also a good thing? Or is it forever or nothing yun na ang gugmag yun?
I think, when it comes to like long-term relationships ending and all that, I think it is mostly a loss, dude, because you know, in terms of kanang the amount of time that you both invested into one another. And
so what about the time that you invested on yourself? Namatay ra de ka. Isn't that also a loss? But of course it's a loss, right?
Yeah.
But why do we celebrate lives?
Well, yeah.
What's the difference between celebrating a life and celebrating
a
your union? You probably are no longer together, but you were able to make it to 10 years.
Yeah. I mean, there are parts of it nga pwede jud nato ma-celebrate. The fact that you were able to maintain your love for one another for such a long time. I think that's certainly something that can
be a cause for celebration, right?
Can be a cause for celebration.
Yeah.
But you know, at the end of the day, I still think like it's mostly a loss for especially for the people involved sa kaning relationship, because the amount of time you invested in one another and all that, and if to me it just really feels like a major loss.
So when you say the time that you invested on each other, what does that mean? Like what do you mean? Like
because you spent 10 years together.
Okay.
Kana.
So what happens to the 10 years, right? So kung magbuwag mo, mawag tang dito day.
Dili, wala ko naingon nga ako. Mawala. Dili bitaw siya mawala.
It will still be there, right?
Yeah, so, in memory. Pero at the same time, it's like what do you call this? Sa case nila ni ni
Derek Ramsey o
Derek
ni
Ramsey o ni
Ellen.
Ellen Adarna,
Okay.
their relationship ended because of
Cheating.
cheating,
Oh,
and which
cheating
is
ka no. Oh.
a very a very bad thing happened within a relationship. So it's a very conjured negative experience. The relationship ended on bad terms. So
There's nothing to celebrate.
there's nothing to
Oh,
celebrate.
maybe
There's not a lot to celebrate.
Well, I think let's put it this way. I think this is a better way of putting it. Correct me if I'm wrong, or agree or disagree.
Yeah.
There's nothing to celebrate about it yet because you're still there, right, in the middle of the
fallout.
the grieving, right?
Yeah,
but
yeah.
maybe when you look back, right, you'll never know, right? When you look back, that was actually the best time of my life. You could probably say that too, right? You'll never know, right?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Pero
It is possible, right? Maybe that was the best relationship you ever had, and it it just ended really badly because whatever for whatever reason he cheated, she cheated, whatever.
Yeah.
But once you're old and gray, right? When you're there, 100 years old, having a cup of coffee, sand on your feet, beach in the background. Oh my God, man, that was the best year of my life.
Yeah.
It is possible, right?
I think it certainly it can be possible because we're not we're especially right now they're still in that moment, so
grabe pa kayo.
Grabe
Ang
pa
hurt,
kayong
diba?
ang hurt. Pero maybe just maybe, but I feel like if a relationship ends on such bad terms like cheating, then so maybe some other kind of kind of issue ba that's really grave.
Why does a bad thing like cheating or whatever reason negate all of the good things that happened to you guys?
Well, I think just for me personally, cheating is one of is like the worst thing that you can do in
so not
one of the worst things that you can do in a relationship.
Okay, so not the worst, but one of the worst. So is there anything worse, like leaving, perhaps? Right?
Well, yeah. I think physical abuse might be
the worst,
the
right?
worst.
Yeah.
But cheating is like probably second. So it's I think because of how bad of how bad of because when you go into a relationship, there's this trust that you're trying to
written or unwritten agreement, right?
Yeah. There is a trust between the two of you that you're trying to build up, and you built up this trust for so long, only for you to misuse that trust or to break that trust 10 years into the relationship. So for me, it kind of
negates everything.
Yes, I think it greatly negates everything, dude. If it was me, I probably wouldn't be able to look at the good.
What do you think of that, guys? Does a bad thing negate your entire relationship? Or what if, for example, this is just a hypothetical. I don't know exactly what happened to that couple that we mentioned, Ellen and Derek, but
yeah.
let's just say they've been together for, I don't know, how long have they been together? Just less than 5 years, right?
I don't know actually.
Maybe our friends here can tell us. Unsa man to kadugay nga managtiayon sila ni Derek ug ni Ellen. Anyway, let's just say, for example, they were together 5 years and they broke up because he cheated and he cheated. Maybe on the second year, right? Or on the third year, right? Or whatever.
Yeah.
So does that negate all the things that she didn't or he didn't cheat on her, or does it contaminate everything?
Yeah. For me, well, at the very least, in my opinion,
in your opinion,
it does.
So you still have nothing to celebrate about, in spite of the fact that you had like 3 beautiful, glorious years, and you're having coffee. Brewed hot coffee on a beach cafe, sand on your feet, beach in the background. Had like
I think
you're never gonna look back at your life and have some good things to say about those years.
Those years we spent together.
Yeah.
I think
Depende
if I were to put some numbers to it, but like, I'd say if especially if we ended on such bad terms, I'd say it would most definitely negate the vast majority of the good
But why?
that we had together.
Why?
And if I were to put a number to it, I would probably say that if moving forward, I would probably only be able to look at only 10% of the good.
So why is that? Why is that?
It's because for me, I want to get into a relationship where we'll be able to trust one another, and destroying that trust for me is like a very big no-no.
Yeah, I know,
basically.
but there were times that you trusted each other.
Yeah, pero the breaking of the trust just it will have me doubting those other moments, Majid. It will have it.
But what
it
if
will,
you-
it will
what-
have me start to think, Majid, na,
What
if this wasn't the first time?
What if you just as hypothetical? What if you knew he didn't cheat on you in the first 3 years, and he was loyal and all of that stuff, and he told you, and then you knew for a fact for whatever reason, this hypothetical thought experiment, and you only knew about it later on. Would you still have no good things to say about the entire relationship because the person did something bad on the whatever year?
It's not that I would have no. It's just that I would have very little to say. I'll be able to only look at very little of the good things that you and I had, because like I said, most of the good that I will start doubting most of the good that our relationship brought to us.
So we have some questions here. Daghang salamat sa inyong mga sa inyong pagpangutana. Daghang salamat sa inyong partisipasyon sa ato ang Ulipon sa Gugmang Giatay with jiggyjuice and
Ralph Chavez.
Unsay pangutana diya sa atong mga kaigsuonan, sa atong mga tigpaminaw og tigpananaw, ang atong mga kaigsuonan, our friends here at the Tops. Daghang salamat sa inyong pagtanaw. If you wanna join us, please come over to our booth if you like.
Yeah,
but if you like, if you don't, because you don't, because we look like we're gonna bite, which we don't, by the way. You can always go to our social. Depends, right? How yummy you are. Like if you look like tiramisu, be careful, right? Or cheesecake. Basig paakon mo na mo. Anyway, we're just kidding, of course. So na yung mga pangutana, go ahead, ask them. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. So natay mga comments. Naputay pangutana. So si Mary Joyce Batoon, ningon na nangutana siya. Why do people cheat?
Why do people cheat? Ngano man na?
Yeah.
Ngano man na? If you have some answers, guys, kay we don't monopolize the knowledge here about love. I know you guys also know about love. Ngano man nga mo cheat man ta? Mo cheat man mo. Ano man na ang ubang tao mo cheat, di ba?
Lagi.
Yeah.
So naputay tubag actually sa atong comment section.
Kinsa man ni si Robin?
Si Robin Rolls.
Kinsa man ni si Robin? Atong paminawan ba?
Okay, niana si Robin nga, why people cheat? Well, it often stems from internal issues like low self-esteem, a need for validation, or unresolved trauma, but also from relationship problems such as emotional disconnection, lack of intimacy, resentment, or poor communication, leading to a search for excitement, attention, or escape outside the primary partnership.
Interesting.
Yeah. Niingon pud si Robin nga mupaak daw si Jiggy. Mumaak daw ni si Jiggy. Mapriso jud ka, Jigs. Oy, ni-agree pa jud si Maria Glenda. Suiko na siya. Yes, I agree. Jiggy bites.
Ayaw. Kuyawan niyo.
Okay. Kuanda si Inola. Ni ana siya sa atong TikTok live nga ganahan daw sila sa atong chika kay makarelate daw siya with her friends.
So ngano man nga mo cheat man ang mga tao, Inola. What's your take on cheating? Why does that even happen, right?
Okay, while we wait for Inola to reply.
What if do you feel that there's a person for you? Because people romanticize love, right?
Yeah.
Now there's like this one person made for me.
Ang kanang soulmate.
Soulmate. Yeah, that's what I was looking at.
Yeah.
So muna ang terminolohiya nga akong gipangita.
Mm-hmm.
Kanang soulmate. Do you believe in that? And do you believe that, like, just like most things in life, love is a trial and error, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you make mistakes and, maybe he wasn't or she wasn't for you.
Yeah.
Right? So what do you think about that concept of a soulmate?
Well, I think it's a very comforting nga thought ang having a soulmate. That the idea nga there's somebody out there specifically for you.
Made for you.
Made for you. Exactly.
Counterpart.
Yeah, lagi. Your direct counterpart, the person
Kinsa ka
who
tingan sa
will-
female nga Frankenstein? Si Shelley something?
I actually don't. I never
Oh,
learned her
he-
name actually.
Didn't he request for
I like
a partner?
for a partner. Yeah.
Anyway, continue. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
So anyway, it's a very comforting thought, and it's something that a lot of people want to think about because finding love can be finding and maintaining a loving relationship can be very hard. And this idea, there's somebody out there who, no matter what, will understand you, will be there for you, and will be like the perfect mix
Does that even exist?
into your life. It's a very idealized nga thought. So
Do you believe in that? Do you guys believe in that? Do you believe there's a soulmate for you? Do you
Mhm.
believe that there's somebody made just for you? Robin Rose, Maria Glenda, and who else is there? Enola and everyone
Mhm.
listening to us here. Do you believe that there's somebody made just for you and nobody else?
Good question. How about you, Jigs? Do you believe in soulmates?
Let me think about that. Let me think about that real hard.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I think that's an important question.
It is a very important question. In fact, I don't
I
even have an
think-
answer to it
I
yet.
think that you are your own soulmate. The moment you find it in your heart to accept yourself and to love yourself, and you'll feel complete. And then
Mhm.
the love that you will be able to give if you get lucky and have another person with you, or have a romantic relationship, have a girlfriend, have a wife, have a husband, or whatever. I think that relationship will be special, especially if that person has already found his or her soulmate, which is himself. I think that's just me thinking, man. Because you got me thinking really hard. Because I never
Yeah,
actually had
yeah.
to deal with that question before. It feels like the person that you're in love with at that moment is your soulmate, right? I mean, most of us, at least in my head, like she was like made for me, man.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then all of
yeah.
a sudden you realize that, hey, you actually get over it.
Yeah.
You always do, right? I mean, like there are times nga grabe kay kaka-heart broken, right? And you
Uh-huh.
feel like it's the end of the world, but you actually always, as far as I'm concerned anyway, always get over it,
Mm.
right? So it's not about the other person, it's about you finding yourself. That's my idea of finding your soulmate. You were made for you.
So I think ni balik ra punta sa self-love.
Yeah.
So it's really all about loving yourself first, guys,
Uh-huh.
before you love somebody else.
Exactamundo. So whatever relationships that you have will be
Mm.
special because this person has already found his soulmate. So the
Mhm.
next time you look for somebody to fall in love with or have a crush on, make sure he loves himself first.
He loves himself or herself
Okay.
first.
And
Mhm.
tell him, ask him or her, have you found your soulmate? And if
Yeah,
his
yeah.
answer is no, then maybe he doesn't love himself yet.
Yeah.
The correct answer should be that
Ye-
he should have found himself because he loves himself. He is his or her own soulmate.
Yeah. Oh, ni-reply na si
Oh.
Inola sa atong pangutana
unsa man,
gina.
unsa man,
Why does cheating happen? Niya na si Inola na. Well, my take is that there is actually a study nga if ang person mag-cheat, ang intention nila is not to hurt their partners, but to feel the intimacy sa ubang tao nga maka-fulfill sa ilang kaugalingon. So it's really just self satisfaction lang jud at the end of the day ang cheating. Mm.
Self-satisfaction.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I think si Robin Rolls magripod siya kaya siya nga, when one's need for self-gratification outweighs their need for intimacy, cheating is likely to occur daw.
So you think it's realistic and natural to be with one person for the rest of your life? Is that a cultural construct? Is that rules that we made up, or is that natural to desire only one person and one person alone? At least when you finally get to sort of choose your quote unquote soulmate, right?
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Is that natural?
That's a very good question. And
Without any rules, if society did not have these rules, if your church, if your country, if your culture didn't have any rules, do you think that it's natural to have only one person and one person alone?
That's a very good question, and I honestly haven't thought about it that much. Is it something innate in us to desire only to maintain a relationship, a loving relationship with one person and one person only, or is it really just a result of kanang cultural nga norms? I haven't given this much thought, so wala pa ko'y matubag sa
How about you guys? What do you think? Is it normal? Is it natural? Is it realistic? Okay, we're talking about cheating here, right? And maybe it's abnormal to be with just one person, or maybe it's normal. I don't know. That's why it's in a form of a question. What do you think, guys?
Yeah.
Join our conversation, please. If you vehemently and violently disagree, please don't throw anything. Just message us, message us on our social media platforms, on TikTok, Tops Media Center, on YouTube,
Tops Media Center, and on our Facebook at TMC 105.1.
And so many subreddits are like soulmates. What is that? I don't even know what a subreddit is. I know what a Reddit is, but I don't know what a subreddit is. What is that?
Well, Reddit is the main website, and ang mga subreddits kaya kanang mga mga forums nila.
Why is it like a soulmate? I don't understand.
I don't know.
The
Subreddits
perfect
are
community?
like soulmates. The perfect community for you is out there somewhere, but you sure as hell aren't gonna find it in your lifetime. so maglisod po tag pangitag subreddits po daw kay they are just like soulmates.
Yeah. But going back to what I said earlier,
Yeah.
given enough time, you can actually learn to love a person, right? Maybe I'm just theorizing again, right? You fell in love with this person, right?
Yeah.
First time, and then you did something bad, you cheated, whatever, you broke up, right?
Yeah.
Isn't it possible also to fall in love with that same person, maybe perhaps in another time,
a second time, like
given
that?
enough time to perhaps know each other again? Diba, I heard this once uttered. I don't know if I agree with this or not. What do you think of this, guys? It requires marriage. That requires like falling in love with the same person
Again
over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Isn't that the easiest person to love? The person that you already fell in love with
Once,
right?
Yeah. I think.
What if for example, let's give an extreme example. Pananglitan, you're abused physically, right? But he has and then he goes to you or she goes to you and she says, I've already changed, right? I'm no longer physically abusive or verbally abusive, whatever. And you get to know each other the second time around.
Yeah.
Diba, the English song, love is sweeter the second time around, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that's possible? Do you think that's a good thing also?
Well, I definitely think it's possible because I've heard stories about that, like falling in love again, and this whole concept nga what do you call this? Even after kanang mga the relationship ended badly, there are some people who still seek affection from their ex. Like there was also extreme cases where this girl admitted she stayed with her ex even though her ex tried to shoot her.
Oh my God. Okay.
So it's possible. It can happen. It can happen. It's just it's hard to think about it. It's hard to think why would you stay with that person? That person hurt you.
Or perhaps the person is insane. Maybe the other person has a mental condition, right?
Yeah.
And maybe he went through. I'm trying to rationalize
like
a radical and violent behavior, like wanting to shoot somebody, ba? Right?
Kaya
I mean,
nga,
like
kaya
if
nga.
your life is already at stake, that's something else, right? But what I'm saying is there are always reasons why people behave a certain way. Some of them not valid. Some of them are actually valid. Possibly man nga, what if kaning nabuang to siya? You know what I mean? Like maybe because of drugs or whatever. Maybe he has
something
like a
else.
mental condition, right?
Yeah.
Would you still be able to forgive somebody who wanted to shoot you because he went crazy because of let's just say a diagnosed mental condition?
Oh, well, forgiving them and staying with them are two completely different
correct.
things.
Yeah.
So I think forgiving them, I might be able to do, but staying with that person, nah,
What
I don't want to die.
But what if he's now on medications and he's no longer exhibiting episodes of wanting to shoot you? Why do again?
I wouldn't risk it.
This is a thought experiment.
Yeah,
but what
yeah.
if you love the person?
But
Isn't
sometimes
isn't love
sometimes
selfless? Isn't
yeah,
love
it
all
is.
about the other person?
It is, but sometimes love is understanding when to let go. And after they tried to shoot you, I think that's the perfect time to let go.
Yeah. Nay pangutana dire si Inolo atong gwapa nga amiga sa taga Bohol, di ba? Katong
Yeah.
dili mura og talsier.
Okay, so nangutana de si Inola, why does a guy give you the attention but don't have the intentions to commit to you? Ooh. That's a good question to ask.
My answer to that is some people are what's a term for that? There's a term for this. Kana bitong we want approval. What do you call those kinds of people? We want approval, right?
Yeah.
We want to be liked, right? We always have this kaning desire to be liked, to be popular, to be known, to be validated, right? So to show affection to you can mean that I like this guy because he's giving me some attention and so that's probably somebody who just wants a people pleaser.
Yeah,
a people pleaser.
People pleaser.
I think there are people like that. All they want to do is just they feel insecure if you hurt them, if you hurt other people, if like, so there are people pleasers, and I think some or most people pleasers would want to do something for you, and make you feel loved. Maybe that's just them in their natural habitat, right? Maybe that's just them showing their people pleasing ways.
So
and you misconstrue it as something that's probably romantic or somebody that has like other intentions.
Yeah. So basin it might be misinterpretation on your part. This is just them being their usual way, and then maybe you misinterpret it as
because they want to feel
something
loved,
more.
right? And maybe his intentions are, I want this person to love me, right? Maybe in the back of his head, but it's just really his people pleasing ways. You know what I mean?
Okay, I think it's an interesting way of looking at it.
Or maybe it's you misinterpreting it also. It could be that's just him, like I said, in his natural environment, in his natural ways.
Yeah.
Being a people pleaser, he wants to please you, and you're probably the I don't know, the person there in front of him, so he's pleasing you.
Yeah, so maybe ang kalang judana is like, this is somebody who wanted to feel validation from anybody, and they were just giving, they were showering somebody else with affection so that you would shower them
or
with affection back.
like them, or like them.
Yeah, or like them,
Just,
something like that.
It doesn't have to be reciprocated.
It doesn't have to. Yeah.
Because you're a people pleaser.
Yeah, yeah.
But
So-
they don't have intentions to commit. You know, you have to have the audacity to ask that question to the people pleaser also. Like, how do you know that number one, he has no intentions to commit, right? Right? Like, somebody, like, if I show you affection, do I need to commit? And then is there a timetable from point of affection to commitment? Like, you know what I mean? Like, so you're guessing, right? You're just guessing.
Maybe.
Maybe you did something that turned him off. Maybe that's why instead of continuing pursuing you, and wala di ay, like false alarm. There's so many ways, right? So
there's a lot of possibilities, Jude, Ani.
Yeah. So,
but maybe if also we're going to look at it from Inola's perspective, maybe not what if it ends up like a situationship where you guys are like constantly talking to each other, wala pa may label, pero you're almost like mag-uyab, but since wala mo label,
okay, pasabta ko ng situationship ko. Unsa ba ng situationship? I kind of know what it means because I think we talked about it, but I just want you to explain it to our listeners. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. So ang kanang situationship, it's like it's this thing where wala pa may labels in yung relationship, and you guys are usually what happens here is like this is already a very deep into the kanang flirting stage of of building a relationship and all that. You guys are maybe exchanging kaning mga what's the term
fluids?
for that?
No.
No.
What are exchanging gifts and so on?
Pleasantries.
That's polite society, man. What do you mean pleasantries?
Like kanang flirtations ba? Yeah, flirtations rather. Kanang mga not necessarily I love you yet, pero like you're
hi, good looking. What you got cooking?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Like you're commenting about you look so beautiful. You look so handsome.
Tonight.
Yeah. I really want to hold you tonight.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Sweet nothings ba? Mga sweet nothings.
Okay.
You're that you're kind of close to getting into a relationship, but because there's no official nobody asked out. Yeah.
I think a situationship or situationships are just another word for you're still trying to figure it out, right? Because you haven't committed yet, and it's I don't think a situationship can last long term.
Yeah.
Because this is another theory of mine, and I don't know if you agree with me. Every relationship should go forward, never backwards. If a relationship stagnate, if it stagnates or goes backwards, it's never gonna last. Relationships have to go forward. It's like in escalating degrees, ending up in perhaps living together or married, whatever, getting married, whatever, right? So if it goes back, then it's never going to
get.
So I guess in the case of the situationship, right?
Yeah.
Kind of situationship is a temporary state, right?
Yeah,
I don't know how long it should be before it becomes like a
full-blown
situationship
or relationship.
I think that's an oxymoron. I think there's no such thing as a full-blown situationship. I think a situationship is just a temporary state wherein you either break up or don't proceed to the next level, to
which
being
is
steady.
a full relationship. Yeah.
So I that's just my theory.
Nagstorya man si Alexa sa tong likod.
What happened? Is she having love problems?
Oh, maybe Alexa is also having love problems.
Can we talk? We the speakers aren't here, right? Where are the speakers? Can we put it here?
No, the speakers are over there. So.
Oh no, of the speakers of Alexa.
The speakers of Alexa. It's over there.
Can I put it here? Is it wireless?
No, it's not wireless. So we gotta
mga yung tatagtabang ni Gohan
ni Alexa.
Ni Alexa.
Oy, ni join in si Burnt sa atong TikTok live, si Mel ug si G. Maayong gabi kaninyo guys. Yan na si Burnt nga Chavy Boy naging love guru na.
Kinsa man ni si Burnt? Kaila kanin niya.
Oh, kaila ka ani.
Kinsa man ni si Burnt?
Familiar ni nga pangan?
Burnt. Ako kaila ng Burnt.
He was here for a while.
Oh, really now?
Yeah.
Oh, si Oli.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh
Yeah,
my
see
goodness.
Ollie.
Hi Ollie, how you doing Ollie?
Maing gabi
Gusto mo ng
Ollie.
bread crumbing? Paasa, paasa vibes.
Paasa vibes.
No,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I think it's really just wanting to be a, to get approval.
Mm-hmm.
I think generally
Part of
speaking,
it.
ba, yeah,
Part of
part
it.
of that
Yeah.
is really just wanting to get approval. Mo
Mm.
nang pasahon ka because we want to be loved.
Yeah.
People want to be loved.
I also have another theory about it. Pero I would like to address this comment by Ollie. Niya na siya nga, I miss TMC. We miss you too, Ollie.
Yeah.
Balik na dali, be?
I know, right?
Yeah. We could really use your presence
Absolutely.
and your energy. Balik na dali. We miss you. Pero yeah, for as to regards to my theory
I hope
about
Enola was happy with our answer, right?
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
kakuha na siya, Enola, kaning situationship should be a temporary state. They can't be forever.
It can't last too long.
And I think it's an oxymoron to say kaning sa tawag niya, what was the oxymoron that she said?
No, it was what you said. You said full blown situationship.
Yeah, I think that's an oxymoron because I think a full blown situationship, a
not a
situationship
thing,
is a temporary state.
Yeah, it should
So
be. Yeah.
is that good enough answer for you guys? So how about you guys? What do you think of people who are just leading you
on, yung mga paasa.
and then wala ra di ay, right?
Yeah.
Wala ra di ay.
Yeah. I think in my personal opinion, like I've heard this story a lot of times. Naman said about typically mga lalaki, dagan kay mga lalaki ug nga paasa ug mga babae pod nga mga paasa. I think there might be like different cases to it, but I think in a lot of cases it's for guys at the very least. I'm going to answer this from the perspective of guys because there's I can't speak for women because I don't understand the perspective of women nga mga
paasa vibes.
Pero I think it's because for guys you're a lot of us are told when it comes to starting the relationship, you kind of gotta go all in, like from the start palang daan, be as kanang heavy-handed in flirting as you can, something like
all
that.
In or nothing.
Yeah, and then in the middle of things you're like, oh, actually, why am I doing this? And then mo pull out na lang sila. At least that's what I hear from 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 guys.
Yeah, there's so many reasons like why somebody is flirting with you and then
Kalatag undang or
nawagtang nagkalit, right?
Yeah.
It could be just a people pleaser wanting your approval. It could be he found somebody else. It could be you're not the person that you thought you were. Or
it could be he's not the person you thought he was.
Or maybe this is another possibility. Maybe he also wants you to react and respond to his flirtation, right?
In a certain way,
right?
And
because maybe you're cold. Maybe ang feeling niya nga turpe sa gaba. Maybe a young feeling is you did not react to his advances. So maybe there's nothing here, right? Maybe that's what he felt too, right?
Yeah.
Posible po na, di ba?
Nangutana si Oli. Ngano good manghilabot pas akong life nga muhawa raman di ay. Hey, I mean, but you can socializing.
But that statement, although it sounds fun, but I don't think people would want to be with you. Although there are probably some people who are, no, but most of the, generally speaking, they don't plan to leave when they get in, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like, na expiry date di ba? Na-expire na siguro ang inyong love, di ba? Maybe they had forever in mind, and after the third day, this is not what I want, right? So you don't plan on leaving unless you have bad faith, right?
Yeah. Maybe. Ana siya mo pay una ni pursue mo pay walay klaro. Maybe I feel like maybe like sometimes what happens is they pursue you they pursue who they think you are, like nasa like perception of you, and then when they get to know you more, ma-realize nila, oh wait, actually maybe maybe this isn't the person I thought it was, or something along the lines of that. It's really hard to say, Jude. Kay, I can actually attest to a moment nga I tried to pursue this girl, and she said something that kind of put me off, and because of that, I kind of I kind of pulled back. Pero I did kind of like actively pursue her, and then all of a sudden I pulled back. No, napawang mo na tong lights.
Before you pull back, can you tell Alexa to
Alexa, what was that? Di ka lang nagpawang atong lights.
Basig na jealous na si Alexa na to.
Alexa's getting very mad at us. Yeah, see, yeah, agree. But I think the hardest thing about that is moving on. You're longing and hope to be with that person. Yeah, napod na.
You know what? It could just be, kuyamagik siguro ni. It could just be ganahanan siya og followers og likes. It could be just that. You know, it could be he just wants some fans, man. Did you notice kana mga artista usahay ba?
Yeah.
Did you notice nga grabe kay sila mo flirt? Kana mga singer, di ba?
Yeah,
grabe kay sila mo flirt, like pasexy, suggestive gayo, di ba?
Yeah.
They want our approval.
Oh,
they want us to love them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It could be just that. It could
simple
be
as that, no?
Simple as that. They want to be loved, and they want likes and views on Facebook, right? And kung napaasa ka niya, sige kag-follow niya, di ba? Yeah. What if you have like 1 million of those women, right? Or men, right? Na 1 million followers na ka. Could be that, right?
It could be, yeah.
It sounds very cynical, but I don't know if you have access to 1 million people. Maybe if you have a concert around the world, like Taylor Swift, you probably will turn 1 million people into fans and followers, right?
Yeah.
Right? So that's just a micro expression of that feeling of an artist, of a singer, of an actor to be loved.
Yeah.
So that you will buy their movie tickets or press like.
Yeah. Or press like or buy their music or something like
correct,
that. Yeah. Niya si lang akon when you're too picky but you still pick the wrong guy.
There's no such thing as a wrong guy or the right guy, man. I don't think so.
Oh, really?
I don't think so.
What do you think it is? If it's not
maybe they're just not compatible, perhaps.
Compatible. Isn't that calling? Isn't that in a way the wrong person? Okay, you're not compatible.
The wrong guy. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, you're right. I guess. Yeah, there's such a thing as a wrong guy. But see, the thing is, you chose that person, right? So you must have a kind of hunch about it, right? So maybe.
Or you had some expectations about it.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. So maybe he's wrong because you later on found out he's not the person that you were looking for, or you are not the person that he's looking for, right? Yeah. So and you don't want to work out your differences, maybe, and all of these things that you had hidden with each other. The problem sometimes with people, especially in the early stages of love, is that you tend to show your best foot forward, and sometimes you kind of hide a few things, right?
Yeah.
The
secrets.
I actually have a third tit. I don't want to show her that, right? Or something like that, right? Bad example. I don't know. I gabi naman good, so murag wala siguro yung mga bata na minaw, di ba? So it could be that, right?
It could be.
And then you finally get settled, and you're comfortable with each other, and he shows you your third thing, right? Right? What the hell is that, bro? What the hell is that, right?
Yeah.
That's actually a thing. I mean,
it is.
We don't show them our bad
flaws.
sides, our flaws.
Our flaws.
Not yet. Right?
And maybe somewhere along the lines, we start to see some flaws or some things that we would consider flaws.
Correct. Si Enola sa siguro ba, gaduda ko, conservative siguro si Enola kay nganong kinanglan pa man nga siya ang mo pursue pirmi, nganong ding imo sang i-pursue di ay?
Wala, ani na si Enola nga, hala, naglarga na ang barko so wala na signal. Okay. Amping sa biyahe, Enola.
Amping sa biyahe dia. Nya, Human, say hi to the Tarsiers for me, okay?
Amping, Enola, bye.
Oh, so mo lagi bay. Kaning dili gid siguro wala gid siguro na reveal niya ang iyang true self, then he becomes like the wrong guy, right?
Right? Uy, actually in response yan na siya, kuya nagpursue sad ko oy. So
Nagpursue
nagpursue
ka?
jud siya.
Okay, nagpursue sa gid siya day.
Yeah.
Ngayon man, so wala na siya ni pursue back.
Yeah,
Or it could be nga grabe na kay ka-aggressive ka nga maka-turn off siguro siya. Right?
Pero siya pa yung nagsugod.
Mo lagi pero ana man this could be I think this is true to a certain extent. Maybe you can agree or disagree with me, Raf, and everyone listening to us here at Tops. Good evening, sir. Good evening, ma'am. Mayong gabi sa kanatong. Good evening. Hayo, mayong gabi. So is it possible nga kung mo pursue kung imong i-reciprocate ang pursuit ni sa usa ka tawo, ma-turn off nilon sila kay ganahan man sila nga mura bag ganing kugmo ba nga papalog kay sila ang mulugit ba. You know what I mean? Ganahan sila nga sila ang mulugit, dili sila ang laing tao mulugit, di ba? So kung ikaw na mulugit, luura ni mo ha? You know what I mean? Do you understand?
There are people like that. There are people like that. Yeah.
You know, like basi ganahan, maybe that person siguro wants a person nga kaning palugit, kanang pakipot, ganahan mag kanang pakipot nindot man. That's part of the dance. That's part of the dating dance, di ba?
Yeah.
Nga kuan sa ka ba kanang kibaw na ka that's pretty normal nga magpa kaning arte-arte, magpa-digding, ano ba? Mas maganahan man ang lalaki ang ubang lalaki anang you know like murabag kaning imong i-tease ba. Mas ganahan man
I think dili ko maka wait, niya si Enola, siya ang aggressive ya. I mean, I also show some motive. I like him. So, siya ang aggressive sa sugod and then she reciprocate pero nawa ra siya.
Maybe nasayop ka guan, maybe you were too aggressive siguro, maybe you don't know that. I don't know, man. I don't know.
It's really hard to say.
Maybe you can be here one of these days when you're back from Bohol.
Yeah.
Maybe bring us some
bring us a tarsier.
I don't know, tarsier illegal man. Kalamay o ganing sanang kanang peanut
kisses.
Peanut kisses and maybe some actual kisses. And maybe we can talk to you. Maybe we can help you. Next question si nani mga comments uban silang Robin ug silang Maria. Unsa may mga comments sila basani?
Ni ingon si Miss Glenda nga giungo daw ta diri kay sige paong-pang tong like sug kalit. And then nangutana si Robin, Jiggy has a third nipple?
I can't show you, man.
We're
not that close yet. I mean, we're close, but not that close. Maybe time will come after the third bottle of single malt whiskey. Maybe I'll show you my
third nipple. Nenapod si Miss Glenda, sometimes when the thrill of the chase subsides, you slowly let go.
So,
when is the nangutana po si Kuyamagik maing gabiin kanimo deha Kuyamagik. What is the legal amount of girlfriends one person can have?
I think 45 pounds. I'm just kidding.
45. That's not even that much. That's
half a person, right?
That's probably like pounds. Pila man ang pounds.
And depending on your religion, Kuyamagik. Depending
on
kung Muslim ka, maybe.
Oh wait, I don't think there is like a legal restriction on the number of girlfriends or boyfriends that you can have.
Oh, well, the number that you can afford, I think, right?
Yeah,
the number that you can afford.
How much you can afford, lang siguro. Yeah.
Something Inola. In the first place, I'm at peace. Nganong nisulod pa jud sa life namo
I mean, leave us alone.
Well, what do you mean by us? Meaning to say that she's already with
I
another
know.
person?
I think she's just talking about herself and si Burnt nga na diligay na. Kay pareha
Ah,
silang situation. Nga
okay.
we're peaceful akong life pero na nikalatragsod sa akong life
Mm.
and gigubot akong kinabuhi with affection and then nawala ang kalit.
Mm.
We're inana siguro ang situation.
Mm.
Mo ako pagsabot siguro at the very least.
Mm.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it is very hard to speculate about this.
Yeah.
Ipaila daw mi sa kaninga guy. Murag,
Maybe we can help you more, right?
yeah, maybe we can help you more. Maybe we need to interview this person.
Mm. Anyway. Kaning gugmagid ba wa gini kaumanan ba sa?
Lagi.
This story about love is really forever, man. Like,
Yeah.
and I think that's what makes it very interesting. That's why I'm really in love with the show. I'm using the right words now to describe a show.
Yeah,
You know, and I think knowing other people's stories helps us also understand this thing even more, and that's why people love to talk about this. Huh? I mean, daghan man kayo mga popular radio shows before, and I think some of them still exist. Maybe not to a certain extent. Like nakinumdum ko ni Love Notes. Love Notes with Joe DeMango. I think he's still on social media, but no longer in radio. He was in Manila. There's a radio station called Magic 89.9 in Manila. Love Notes. Sikat kayo. Moto yung nakapa number 1 sa radio station nila. Sa Cebu na kaning Papa Joe. Papa Joe. I think he used to give love advice, right? In my radio station before, in Y101, I used to have a show called Dr. Love, right? And I brought in this medical student.
Literal nga doctor.
Literal, right? Kasi it's so funny, man. I'll tell you the story of Dr. Love, right? In my previous radio station, Y101. There's this guy. It looked like a total nerd because like this really thick glasses, right?
Yeah.
And spoke straight American English, right?
Yeah.
So he was hanging out. He was there very often, and I was asking him like, "What do you want to talk about, man?" And he goes like, in school, like in Cebudok, he went to school in Cebudok. People would always ask me about love, just like that. You're Dr. Love. So the day after, he went on the air and gave love advice on the air, and he was Dr. Love for a long time until he had to leave.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, a literal. He's actually a very successful doctor practicing in the United States.
Oh wow!
Yeah. And hopefully still giving some love advice. He looks like he's a happily married man, so I think he has time to give some love advice.
Maybe he needs some love advice of his own. Who knows?
But yeah, I think Mangod, understanding the diversity of feeling, the diversity of the way we look at love and all of its different versions, iterations, levels, whatever. I think it helps us to understand the human condition, diba?
Yeah, it certainly does. It definitely does.
And I think for me, love is the highest expression of a human being. I think of course we don't know this for certain, but I think the human being is the most the species, the life form that expresses the most love more than any other creature. Of course, the opposite of that is also true, right? We are also the life form that expresses the most hate. In fact, we have instruments to annihilate one another, right?
Yeah.
So the more we love, the more we hate.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Definitely.
I don't know if you know of any species
that comes
shows
close.
more love, right? But
probably not.
But aren't there animals that kill themselves after sex? I forgot which.
There was.
There
I don't know,
is.
but I know there's like they will eat their mate, but I don't know about kill themselves.
Or they die after they give birth or something like that. I don't know.
I don't know.
Anyway, we could be wrong. We could be. Maybe we're not the most loving life form, right?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe there's something out there that's
More loving than us.
more loving than us in a galaxy far, far away.
Maybe Yoda, right? Okay.
Love.
I guess
Mm.
we have to wrap it up because we've
Yeah,
been
yeah.
talking all day and um sana ahaha daghang salamat jud.
Daghan jamo salamat.
I think Jamo is very right.
Yeah.
Many.
Yeah. Actually, I'm gonna have to brush up on my bola. nun.
Bujol.
Yeah, yeah. We're happy to be of help. Inola.
Mm.
Feel free to come by Tops again whenever you have the time, and
Yeah.
come by our station.
And also visit and like our pages, which
Yeah, yeah.
are
Visit us at our Facebook page at TMC 105.1, our YouTube at Tops Media Center, and of course our atong TikTok, Tops Media Center. So, Jigs.
yeah, that's it, man.
Mm,
Thank you so much for watching, guys, and all of our friends here at Tops. Daghang salamat sa inyong pagsalmot ug paminaw. Thank you so much for being patient. I hope you guys enjoy the view. You know, this is easily the best view you can find anywhere in Cebu or anywhere in the world for that matter. Daghang salamat,
Yeah.
and please come back and listen to us. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, our Facebook, our Instagram, our TikTok, and our website. Please show some love. In our show, we call Ulipon sa Gugmang Giatay.
Ano si Inola nga. Sure, visit Bohol also.
Here in 105.1 at TMC, the best of us.